But a recent Russian anti-satellite missile test resulted in a swarm of debris. The risk concerns any debris with the potential to pierce the spacesuits or the space station itself. That's the latest world news from the BBC.
Is yo-yoing on and off, switching, changing the rules is very confusing for customers. So the most important thing is consistency. If we need to keep doing this for a period of time, that is much more straightforward for us all as members of the public than changing our minds. So consistency is the order of the day, is what I'd say to that.
All right, Helen Dickinson, good to talk to you this morning. Thank you. Well, let's speak to one of those retailers adapting to the new rules. Topps Tiles has more than 300 stores across the UK. Today it's reported a return to the black. Well, the company reported pre-tax profits of £14.3 million for the year to the 2nd of October. That compared with a loss of £9.8 million in the previous 12 months. And it reflects an 18% rise in sales to a record £228 million. Well, joining me now is Rob Parker, who's Chief Executive of Topps Tiles. Very good morning to you, Rob. Obviously, during the pandemic, you did see a lot more customers doing things with you digitally, ordering samples online, for example. Presumably, these new restrictions, you're bracing yourself for an uptick in that sort of behaviour.
Hi, yeah, good morning, Ian. Well, look, I think we've proved through the last 18 months or so that our business can be very resilient. As you say, we have 300 stores up and down the UK. We're a very well-known national retail business. We also have really strong digital online operations through our website. And yeah, what we've seen very clearly is that when customers, if we're at the stage where they're not allowed to trade, to operate or to move around freely in stores, some of them will decide to go online, and we can service our customers' demands very well indeed from the digital platform that we have in our existing operations.
So you've announced record sales today. What has driven growth? Is it the retail side of the business or your commercial arm?
Well, the commercial business is still quite a new part of our operations. We've had that now for around 3 or 4 years. That has started to grow quite well, but it's still a relatively small part of what we do. The big part of our business is our retail stores, our retail business. And yes, as you say, this has been a record year of turnover, which is great. Really delighted to be able to announce that today, and just really grateful for all of our colleagues' support across the business as well, which has really helped us to deliver these results, and of course our customers who continued shopping with us. We've got a really clear goal for the business, so we want to get to a 20% market share by the year 2025, and we've got a really clear growth strategy to help us deliver that. And some of those things that we've implemented have been extending our range into some more sort of value-orientated products to make sure we can really appeal to a very broad church of customers, and also introduce some new ranges, things like outdoor tiles, actually 2 centimetre thick porcelain tiles, which is a sort of piece of technical innovation in the marketplace, but we've really been at the forefront of that as well. So yeah, lots of sort of self-help type initiatives going on, but of course we also know, don't we, as has been widely reported, that customers have been spending more money on their homes, and we've definitely seen the benefit of that through our business as well.
And I mean, the likes of B&Q have been talking a lot lately, Rob, about a revival in DIYs. Is that your sense?
We've definitely seen a stronger foot forward from our homeowner customers. We have two sort of bases of customers in the business. There's our sort of professional fitters, who are people that are installing tiles in our homes. Everything we serve in retail is sort of the repair, maintenance and improvement market, so existing residential housing stock. Yeah, about half our sales are to homeowner customers as well, some of which is being self-installed, some of which will still be done through a fitter. But yeah, we've definitely seen a keener sense of people being prepared to take on the smaller, more simpler kind of tiling jobs, I would say. We're really encouraging that. We offer a very we're specialists in what we do, so we have a really good detailed technical knowledge of the product, so we can sell people the whole package of suitable tiles, the right adhesives, grouts. We can really offer them sort of design and inspiration advice in stores as well, and that puts us in a very strong position.
And what about supply chain disruption and inflation, Rob? How are you navigating your way through that?
Yeah, I mean, this has been widely reported. Supply chain disruption, has caused us some impact as we've been through. And at the moment, probably the biggest area we're seeing is not so much, we import a lot of products into the UK, not so much getting the product into the UK. That's not without its challenges, but that's been okay. But often getting product out of ports and into our warehouse. And that's really been underpinned by the, as again has been well reported, the national shortage of lorry drivers across the UK actually. But that's probably the biggest area for us, is actually just getting products out of ports and into our central warehouse in Leicester.
Very briefly, if you would please, Rob, the number of stores came down from 360 to 339 during the year, I think. Is that it in terms of rationalisation of the store estate for now?
We actually ended the year at 313 stores, and we've indicated for a couple of years now, we think about 300 stores is the right number in the UK. So we're almost there. We're at about the right size of the estate that we think we need across the UK. And it's really important to have lots of stores so we can be super convenient for both our trade customer base and also our homeowner customers.
All right, Rob Parker, good to talk to you this morning. Appreciate you joining me. Thank you.
Thank you.
Some other business news stories now, and EasyJet has reported a loss of more than £1 billion for the second year running. The pre-tax loss of £1.036 billion for the year to the end of September represented an improvement on the loss of £1.27 billion during the previous 12 months. Well, sales halved during the year, with capacity falling from 55.1 million seats to 28.2 million seats because of pandemic-related travel restrictions and national lockdowns. Well, EasyJet said that based on current travel restrictions in its markets, it expects to fly around 65% of 2019 capacity levels during the final 3 months of this year. It also revealed it has agreed to take a further 19 aircraft from Airbus between 2025 and 2028. A sharp rise in digital advertising revenues has helped Future, the publishing company and owner of the comparison website Go Compare, raise pre-tax profits from £52 million to £107.8 million for the year to the end of September. Well, Future, whose titles include Country Life, Woman and Home, Classic Rock and 442, also highlighted a rise in e-commerce revenue. It recently bought Dennis, the publisher of titles such as Wealth, Money Week and The Week. I can tell you the shares are up some 13% right now. And higher investment costs have hit profits at the money transfer company Wise. Well, a company which floated on the stock market in July this year, so pre-tax profits in the 6 months to the end of September came in at £18.8 million. That was down 6% on the same period last year. Wise said that during the most recent 3 months, 3.7 million personal customers and 230,000 business customers used Wise Transfer and the Wise account to move and manage money across borders. Now, for tech insiders, it looked to be on the cards for years, but yesterday the Twitter chief executive Jack Dorsey officially announced he was stepping down. The social media giant acted quickly to replace him. Parag Agrawal has been promoted from chief technology officer. Well, how might these top-level changes alter the path of Twitter? To find out, I'm joined by Shona Ghosh. She's tech editor at Business Insider UK. Morning to you, Shona. What do we know about Mr. Agrawal?
Morning. We don't know that much yet. He seems like a long-time Twitter insider, and there's been a bit of a pattern of this at the major tech companies. You know, some of the visionary tech leaders, the founders, Bill Gates of Microsoft, etc., stepping down and then handing over to a next generation of tech leaders. And interestingly, they are often Indian and of Indian extraction, or born in India and trained in India, and then moved to the US on exceptional talent visas. And that seems to be the case for Mr. Agrawal, who was born in India, trained in India, and then moved to the US with his family. So he seems to have overseen several of Twitter's big internal projects. So something called Twitter Blue, which is a subscription service, which has just rolled out in the US, and a few other kind of major open source projects. So he's obviously a long-time executive, a trusted hand, maybe less of a visionary than Jack Dorsey, who is quite an idiosyncratic character, but perhaps a safe pair of hands to continue leading the company. And that's within the wider trend we've seen at Silicon Valley and among the big US tech firms of this handing over, the changing of the guard from some of the visionary leaders to these long-time execs who are seen as a safe pair of hands by customers, investors, etc.
Yeah, idiosyncratic, that's a kind word for him. He kept me waiting for 20 minutes for an interview once and then stood us up at the last minute. So, yeah, what can you say about that? Look, I mean, a lot of grousing among shareholders that Twitter's been overtaken by the likes of TikTok, Snap, Facebook lately. I mean, what are the main challenges Mr. Agrawal faces in trying to address that?
Yes, absolutely that. The fact that Twitter is a slightly odd platform, it doesn't collect as much data about its users, for example, as Facebook does or Google does. And these are the data collection is what has made some of the other tech platforms extremely profitable because they sell ads against that data. Twitter doesn't collect so much information about you, although you actually give away an awful lot about yourself on Twitter. Twitter doesn't sort of collect it in this organized way. It doesn't know your interest categories. So its targeted ads are perhaps less effective. The user base tends to be a little skewed. So you have a small base of users, often journalists, celebrities, politicians, lots of high profile people join it and use it and are the majority of people who post and are very active. Unlike Facebook, where lots of people, broader demographics are very active, Twitter's got a very sort of small, very active user base. And then everyone else who has signed up to it is mostly sort of watching. They're passive users. They're not necessarily saying very much. So it's got a less balanced active user base than, again, some of the other big tech companies. And of course, it's overwhelmed by issues of politics. Trolling is of course a bit of an issue on Twitter, and these kind of broader moderation issues that it needs to solve. Again, all the other tech platforms do have to solve this. So the fact that it's got a slightly strange, skewed user base is definitely one issue it needs to think about, and the fact that that doesn't necessarily lead to obvious monetization opportunities versus the other social media platforms that we know and love. And then the other big change in social media, of course, over the last sort of 5-10 years is the shift to video. You know, we all love Instagram. TikTok has come out of nowhere. Snapchat, of course, remains very popular. And these are video-based platforms. Twitter is predominantly a text-based platform. You can post videos, you can post media, but mostly people associate Twitter with writing 140 characters, 240 characters of text, and sort of posting your thoughts up there, a bit like a status update. And actually, is that the most popular media format for social media going forward? I don't know. So that's another issue that Twitter needs to contend with, is whether it's ever going to be the most popular type of platform, whether it can maintain kind of growth at all costs versus those other platforms.
Shona, very briefly, if you would, please. Obviously, Jack Dorsey's off to spend more time at Square now. I mean, this is itself becoming an increasingly complex business, isn't it?
Yes, Square's had really impressive growth. It's about 3 times the size of Twitter by market cap. So Twitter gets a lot of the media share and mind share, but actually Square's a much bigger, more impressive and more stable business. So it's perhaps not surprising that Dorsey wants to go off and spend a bit more time with Square. Not only that, but he's very interested in cryptocurrencies. He said that very openly. He's tried to bring it into Twitter, but actually Square is perhaps more of a natural home for those interests. So it feels like he's going to take his crypto interests off to Square and work on that. That feels like the natural step for him. So I'm sure he'll continue to build it as a very impressive business, but it is much bigger than Twitter, despite the fact it perhaps has less of the media currency.
Indeed. So Shona, always good to talk to you. Thanks for joining me today.
Thank you.
Now, there's some of the key questions of our time. Can China and America repair their relationship? Has COVID-19 caused globalisation to collapse? Well, on that last point, the global logistics provider DHL says the data suggests not. It's been looking into 4 international flows that connect the world, including trade, capital, information and people. It all forms part of its Global Connectedness Index, which has just been published. Well, joining me now to talk about this is John Pearson. He's Chief Executive of DHL Express. John, very good morning to you. I mean, your business is clearly very geared to globalisation. From what you're saying, it sounds like all is not lost.
All is not lost. In fact, it's very positive. And as I sit here in London today, releasing the 8th edition of the Global Connectedness Index, it suggests that globalization, the extent to which we're connected, and indeed trade has bounced back extremely strongly, and we're more connected than we were last year and the year before that. And I have to say, it was music to my ears listening to Rob from Tops Tiles, who summarized it extremely well when he said, our things are moving, we import from many countries, and things are moving nicely through to their destination. He made the point that there was some port and lorry driver shortages in the UK, obviously he was referring to, but the point above that was that global trade was moving, uplift, be it on sea or air, was moving, and he was getting his things in time to run that business that he runs so well.
Yes, I mean, signs of encouragement there. I mean, obviously, international trade flows have, notwithstanding that, been upended to a certain extent by the pandemic. When do you see things genuinely returning back to sort of pre-pandemic levels?
Yeah, so I think we see a normalization. All the data points in the Global Connectedness Index, or indeed our own, right up until yesterday's data, suggest that things are coming back to normal. E-commerce has been extremely strong since April, May of last year. You hear the phrase, people saying we had 3 years of growth in 3 months. That was exactly the case. B2B and B2B online started to become strong around Q3 last year, and we're going into now a very strong peak season, which is what our whole organization is focused on, delivering a great peak season for our customers. I don't see any inflection point until Chinese New Year, which is early February next year. And then after that, I hope that as we move into spring, we see some more further normalization of the pandemic. We see more commercial belly space becoming available and things returning incrementally, step by step, back to normal. Although much of next year, I'm sure, will be a rather different and unusual supply chain environment, but more positive than this year.
I mean, clearly people flows are critical for globalization. There are labour shortages that you've just alluded to. Are they as acute in other parts of the world as they are here in the UK?
I think, different countries are experiencing different things. In the US, we saw when the stimuluses were there, some difficulty in finding sufficient people to have in our hub, but we managed through that. And right now, I think companies that depend on high level of contractors may be finding that difficult. DHL Express are very local on the ground. We're in all 220 countries. We were actually, and I'll say this, we were recently awarded the first place in the Great Place to Work. So we're a strong employer brand. We hired 7,000 to 8,000 people last year, and to be honest, Ian, we're finding it, relatively easily to find line haul drivers, PUD drivers, and the rest of our network is really about aviation uplift, where we have between 70 and 80 additional aircraft than we had this time last year, and positioning them in the right place to move goods from A to B.
Wow. And how much more are you having to pay drivers and some of those aviation crew? It sounds like you've been on a bit of a hiring spree on that latter point.
Well, I think just like we have a general price increase at the beginning of each year, and we announced that in September, so do our merit and pay scales move in line with what we need them to do, and that varies, considerably by country. But absolutely, we're finding it, relatively easy to bring people into DHL Express and satisfy the demands of our customers.
Can you give me an idea of the kind of price rises that you've been pushing through there, John?
Yeah, we announced a headline global rate of 4.9%. That varies quite a lot by country, but the sort of headline and the average was 4.9, which will go into place on January the 1st next year, and that's typical of our industry. Our pricing is very rational. If our customers will typically only hear from us once a year in terms of pricing, unless there's any remedial activities that need to take place. So we haven't been changing our price model as the supply and demand situation has changed so drastically over the course of the last 12 months. And our customers appreciated that level of reliability as well.
Okay, busy day for you. Appreciate you joining me today. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Well, still to come here on Ian King Live, we'll be taking a look at how global markets are doing this Tuesday morning. Stay tuned.
you to the heart of the stories that shape our world. If there is a bigger explosion, this area would be in the danger zone. For the thousands of Thais who've come out here today, they just want a chance to honour their king. We know that 800,000 people have been displaced.
Hong Kong is not China!
I think experiencing the 2 million person march in Hong Kong, that was a moment.
Police have been firing tear gas and rubber bullets.
See fires all around us here. Siobhan Robbins, Sky News, Bangkok.
Well, stocks in the Asia-Pacific region saw mixed trading overnight amid continued volatility since the detection of the Omicron variant of COVID-19. Sydney and Mumbai finished slightly higher. Shanghai, well, that was more or less unchanged, but Hong Kong and Tokyo both finished lower by more than 1.5% apiece. Well, in Europe, stocks have been firmly in negative territory all morning after Moderna's chief executive raised questions over the efficacy of vaccines against the new variant. Here's the current picture. All of the main European indices down by more than 1%. Talking points include Volvo Cars. Its shares are down by 2.25% in Stockholm after it reported weaker sales in November. Well, here in London, the FTSE 100 is also in negative territory, down 1.33% there, some 94 points off in a broad-based sell-off. The biggest blue chip faller is BT Group. You might recall yesterday I mentioned takeover speculation from India. Well, it's off 3.5% today as that speculation has eased. AstraZeneca also concerns there about the efficacy of vaccines against the new variant. It alone has clipped some 8 points from the index. The FTSE is currently in line, I should say, for its worst month since October last year. Well, outside the FTSE, it's a pretty similar situation. The biggest faller in the mid-250 is AO World. It's currently down some 7%. That was after its downbeat trading statement last week. While the software group Micro Focus, its shares are down by some 5%. It's got a strategy update out today. There are some gainers to mention, though. Pennon, the owner of South West Water, its shares are currently up some 0.75%. It's got results out today. While the women's wear retailer Sosandar, its shares are ahead by 2%. That's after it reported a trebling of half-year sales. On the foreign exchange markets, the dollar's on the back foot this morning, and accordingly, the pound is higher. That's on the back of those Moderna comments. The pound some 0.2% higher against the greenback right now. It's down by 0.25% against the euro. As for the oil price, well, that is drifting lower this morning amid concerns over what Omicron may mean for demand. The barrel of Brent crude will currently set you back $71.28 a barrel. That is down by just shy of 3%. Well, joining me now is James Hughes. He's Chief Markets Analyst at Scope Markets. James, very good morning to you. So I mentioned there the dollar on the back foot this morning. Why is that? Is that just a bit of risk-off sentiment creeping in?
Yeah, I think so, Ian, to be perfectly honest. I mean, I think that it's very difficult to look at these markets at the moment and get any sort of rational feeling around what's driving them. I think you're getting these comments from Moderna, that's hitting AstraZeneca, that's hitting markets as a whole. And of course, the dollar's taking a little bit of a hit on the back of that. And of course, the situation that you have with the dollar as well is, of course, it has been absolutely flying over recent months and weeks. And last week was the same until we heard the new variant coming around, because there's these rumours that we could see the Fed increase the amount of tapering and really just increase the rate prospect. Now, this was all before what was going on, but of course, Omicron has really thrown the cat amongst the pigeons in terms of all markets. We just can't really gauge. And when you go into a month like December, where it's notoriously pretty hard to gauge anyway, then it leaves markets very, very much on the edge at the moment.
Absolutely. I was very interested to see sterling lower against the euro this morning. Obviously, we have these German inflation numbers out, which were pretty horrific yesterday. Do you think that's going to force a change of tone out of the ECB, the European Central Bank?
Do you know what? We've been thinking about this for a little while, and one of the key factors that we look at here is that for a long time, we've seen that growing divergence between monetary policy between the ECB and the Fed, where, of course, they're the big two areas that have so much focus. And the ECB don't want that divergence to happen too much. We can't see a massive gap between the ECB and what's going on at the Fed. Now, of course, inflation, the best way to tackle inflation is to tighten up that monetary policy and start to change things. But the problem being, and again, we have to go back to now Omicron, because that just puts more uncertainty in. The ECB were worried about taking any stimulus away and leaving the Eurozone to stand on its own 2 feet. Well, now with this uncertainty that the new variant really does throw around, it leaves the ECB really in a situation where they can't act, that they can't do anything, because we just don't know the outcome. And with inflation numbers in Germany so high, and that's, of course, going along with what's happening in the US, in the UK, we're seeing inflationary pressures everywhere. Then it's a real tough situation, because I don't see how the ECB can act at the moment with so much uncertainty around COVID.
All right, James Hughes, very good to talk to you this morning. Thanks very much indeed for joining me. Good to see you.
Thank you, Ian.
Well, next, the deal being described as the most significant order for large zero-emission trucks in Europe to date. The German logistics service provider DB Schenker has signed a partnership with the electric vehicle manufacturer Volta Trucks, which includes a pre-order.
Or Google Play Store. The app is free to download. After downloading it, just open the app and enter your name, email and phone number. That's it, you're good to go. Make sure you use the promo code SR, S for Starr, R for Radio. This promo code will give you £5 free credit to send to Africa on your first transaction. Your money will be delivered to your recipient within seconds. Feel free to call me on 0749 7377 647 at any time. I'll be happy to tell you all about Sendwave and help you in any way I can. Remember to use the promo code SR for £5 free credit. Medasse.
Hi everyone, it's your girl BB Clement, the author of How to Go From Employee to Entrepreneur and the host of your weekly business show, BB Means Business, the show where we discuss everything you ever wanted to know about business but you were afraid to ask. How do I start my business? How do I raise the finance? How do I grow my business? Where am I going to find my customers? Join me every Tuesday at 1:30 p.m. on Starr Radio UK to get all the information and tips that you need to become a successful entrepreneur and become financially free. Remember, don't let life dictate to you. Rather, put your signature on life.
Check me out. He tells me my energy is making him tired.
Yes!
How do you get the energy to do
I've been told that I have a lot of energy, but my goodness, I think today I have met my match, people. I have met my match, Miss Suzanne. Wow, amazing.
One of the things that's the start of the darkness. Of darkness.
So what did that
myself and the world will adjust. And 2019,
forget the proverbial boardroom. Join me, Simone Frazier, on The CEO, the program that gives you the driving seat over your life. Every Tuesday, 8 p.m. only on Starr Radio.
Are you looking for the fastest, reliable, and trustworthy door-to-door shipment company? Well, look no further. When was the last time your family received a shipment back in Ghana on time and in time? You are not sure? Well, Lamb Shippers, we pride ourselves with being the fastest, reliable, and trustworthy shippers you can use. You are assured of prompt pickup anywhere in the UK by our personnel. They also make sure your items are well packaged to get to its destination in time. When it comes to door-to-door shipment, look no further. Well, Lamb Shippers, contact us on 07939009321 or 07498911820. Or you can visit our website www.welllamp.co.uk. You can also drop us a mail, info@welllamp@gmail.com. Well Lamp Shippers, fast, reliable, and trustworthy.
Hello, lovely listeners. Tune in to the renewed show with Charlotte. Make it a date to listen to me this and every Thursday at 5 p.m. on Starr Radio UK. Tune in to an hour of power, an hour of encouragement, an hour to inspire you to stay positive and strong in this season. See you there and listen.
Hi there. Are you dreaming of owning your own house in Ghana? Then you will need a well-documented piece of land that is free from troubles. I highly recommend My Africa Property for any size of land that you will need. With My Africa Property, lands are available in Pram, Sopoli, Tohenia, Ogome, Dodova, Winneba, and many other locations at affordable prices. These locations are about an hour away from the airport, only 35 minutes from the motorway, 10 minutes drive from Central University College, 10 minutes drive to the beach, and close to Pram Senior High School and Ghana Men's Soccer Center of Excellence. For more details, visit our website www.myafricaproperty.com or call our UK office on 0208 123 2523. For our US and Canada offices, call us on +1 585 184 994145. You can also email us at ghana@myafricaproperty.com.
Getting onto the property ladder has never been easy until now. Join us this and every Thursday from 7 p.m. to 8:30 p.m. live on the Property Hour Show on Starr Radio UK, where we talk to mortgage brokers, property developers, estate agents, landlord, tenant, property consultants on how to invest or get into the property business and make money. You can't afford to miss this. The Property Hour Show is your best source into the property industry.
Tune in to On Point here on Starr Radio UK with Empress Regina every Monday at 5 p.m. GMT. Looking forward to your company.
Hi guys, this is your friend Uruj from SendWave. SendWave is a money transfer app that is used by people all over the world to send money to their loved ones in Africa. With SendWave, you can send money to Ghana, Nigeria, Kenya, Uganda, and Tanzania. And the best part is, SendWave is absolutely commission free. Our exchange rates are excellent. You can see for yourself by checking them out on our website. So how do you use SendWave? SendWave is an app that you can download onto your phone from the App Store or Google Play Store. The app is free to download. After downloading it, just open the app and enter your name, email, and phone number. That's it. You're good to go. Make sure you use the promo code SR. S for Star, R for Radio. This promo code will give you £5 free credit to send to Africa on your first transaction. Your money will be delivered to your recipient within seconds. Feel free to call me on 0749 7377 647 at any time. I'll be happy to tell you all about SendWave and help you in any way I can. Remember to use the promo code SR for £5 free credit. Medasse.
Hi everyone, it's your girl BB Clement, the author of How to Go From Employee to Entrepreneur and the host of your weekly business show, BB Means Business, the show where we discuss everything you ever wanted to know about business but you were afraid to ask. How do I start my business? How do I raise the finance? How do I grow my business? Where am I going to find my customers? Join me every Tuesday at 1:30 p.m. on Starr Radio UK to get all the information and tips that you need to become a successful entrepreneur and become financially free. Remember, don't let life dictate to you. Rather, put your signature on life.
In your car,
at work,
at home,
on your smartphone, broadcasting worldwide, online 24/7,
all around the world. In your car,
at work,
at home,
on your smartphone.
This is
Starr Radio UK.
Are you ready to turn it up?
10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Birds flying high, you know how I feel. Sun in the sky, you know how I feel. Breeze drifting on by, you know how I feel. It's a new dawn, it's a new day, it's a new life for me. And I'm feeling good. Hey there, this is Archie. Oh yes, and God is good. God is good. God has been good to me, and I hope that He has been good to you as well. As I say all the time, you have life. Once you have life, there is hope. So it doesn't matter what the challenges are, what you might be going through. One thing is assured: it's a new day. It's a new dawn, and I'm feeling good, and I hope you are also feeling good. On that note, I want to welcome you to Tuesday's edition of the morning show. Today is the 30th day of November, the year 2021. Of course, the last day of November. It's not that cold like it was yesterday here in London, therefore a bit mild here. But once again, I want to welcome you all to the program. But especially good morning to my colleagues, Mr. Frank Dennis, Mr. Lime, Kojo D, Felix all the way in Aberdeen. And to all you wonderful people who have tuned in this morning to listen to us. To our lovely listeners in the US. Those of you in Europe, Asia, Australia, and on the African continent, I salute you all, especially my Barbadians who had their Republican status in place last night. Welcome to the world, the real world. Okay, no. Share the broadcast with your friends and loved ones and invite them to like our pages as well. And let's go on this journey. Travel with me. Don't leave me alone. Share the broadcast, share the broadcast, share the broadcast. Thank you very much. Playing in the background, something from the Better Revival Choir and Joe Metal saying, Enyo, 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 meaning He's good. Who is good? God is good.
Put your hands together. If you know He's been good, lift your hands and say, You were good, Lord, yeah. Everybody say, Lord, I'm here to sing my praises for.
But let me take this opportunity to say a happy birthday to my lovely daughter-in-law, Pat Holali Hammond. Yes, I hope that you are doing very well and having a lovely day, Pat. Some know her as Patricia Gasu. Good morning to you. But especially good morning to my able producer, the one who is behind the scenes making sure that everything is taken along nicely, Mr. Francis Guy. Francis, morning to you. So share the broadcast with your friends and loved ones and invite them to like our pages. 10:46 the time. Let's crack on and bring you the quote for the day. The quote for the day says, keep love as your focus and everything else will fall into place. Love will give you proper perspective. Keep love as your focus and everything else will fall into place. Love will give you a proper perspective. So you don't come from a point of being judgmental. Come with an open mind. So I welcome you all once again. It is Starr Radio UK, your favorite African and Caribbean radio station in London. Okay, moving on straight to the weather front. Yes, as I said earlier on, it's a bit milder today as compared to yesterday. But well, some details of it. This afternoon will remain cloudy and mild for most. There will be showery outbreaks of rain in places, but for many it will remain dry. Some brighter spells are possible in places. And tonight, cloudy this evening with an odd spot of drizzle. Overnight, a band of rain will arrive from the west, clearing eastwards by dawn, followed by variable cloud. Some clear breaks and a fewer spells of rain expected as well. Total temperature 12 degrees, the lowest 9 degrees. UV level is going to be low, pollution is going to be low as well. Sunset 15:56 and sunrise for tomorrow morning 07:42 hours. And that brings us to the end of the weather forecast for you today, November the 30th, 2021. Tomorrow is the first day of December. And that's where all the Christmas activities start from here on Starr Radio UK. Alright then. again. So once again, welcome to the show. We take a quick break. We come back and I bring you the travel update. Stay tuned. Don't you go away. It is all Starr Radio UK. Of course, I am the one and only.
This is the morning show with Archie.
Hi everyone, it's your girl BB Clement, the author of How to Go From Employee to Entrepreneur and the host of your weekly business show, BB Means Business, the show where we discuss everything you ever wanted to know about business but you were afraid to ask. How do I start my business? How do I raise the finance? How do I grow my business? Where am I going to find my customers? Join me every Tuesday at 1:30 p.m. on Starr Radio UK to get all the information and tips that you need to become a successful entrepreneur and become financially free. Remember, don't let life dictate to you. Rather, put your signature on life.
Check it out. Keep your eyes on the road.
Okay, so keep your eyes on the roads, keep your eyes on the roads. I'll keep you navigated. I promise I'm on the Starr Radio UK travel update that comes your way every weekday from 10:40. It's now 10:49. So let's crack on. It's going to be a swift one. So on the underground this morning, apart from the Piccadilly line that has got part suspension, all the others have got good service. Let me bring you details of the Piccadilly line issue. No service between Reynolds Lane and Uxbridge due to difficult track conditions caused by significant leaf fall. Please use the Metropolitan line to complete your journey. Good service on the rest of the line though. Keep your eyes on the roads. Keep your eyes on the roads. CFL Rail DLR London Tram Link London Overground. Good service. Okay, now moving on straight to the river bus this morning. I can tell you shortly, apart from the Woolwich Ferry that's got plant cruises, all the others have got good service. But keep your eyes on the roads. Keep your eyes on the roads. Moving straight to the National Rail. On the National Rail, Great Western Railway has got minor delays. Northern Rail, Special Service, Scotch Rail, Special Service, South Western Railway, minor delays there as well. But keep your eyes on the roads. Keep your eyes on the roads. I will keep you navigated. I promise. On the final segment of the travel update, that's the major roads in London. A12 has got closures. A4 closures. Central London Red routes closures there as well. And as I will say all the time, well. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, good dawn to you wherever you might be on planet Earth. Enjoy your commute for today. But you know what? Continue to keep those eyes on the road.
Hi guys, this is your friend Uruj from SendWave. SendWave is a money transfer app that is used by people all over the world to send money to their loved ones in Africa. With SendWave, you can send money to Ghana, Nigeria, Kenya, Uganda, and Tanzania. And the best part is, SendWave is absolutely commission-free. Our exchange rates are excellent. You can see for yourself by checking them out on our website. So how do you use SendWave? SendWave is an app that you can download onto your phone from the App Store or Google Play Store. The app is free to download. After downloading it, just open the app and enter your name, email, and phone number. That's it. You're good to go. Make sure you use the promo code SR. S for Starr, R for Radio. This promo code will give you £5 free credit to send to Africa on your first transaction. Your money will be delivered to your recipient within seconds. Feel free to call me on 0749 7377 647 at any time. I'll be happy to tell you all about SendWave and help you in any way I can. Remember to use the promo code SR for £5 free credit. Medasse.
It's your girl BB Clement, the author of How to Go From Employee to Entrepreneur and the host of your weekly business show, BB Means Business, the show where we discuss everything you ever wanted to know about business but you were afraid to ask. How do I start my business? How do I raise the finance? How do I grow my business? Where am I going to find my customers? Join me every Tuesday at 1:30 p.m. on Starr Radio UK to get all the information and tips that you need to become a successful entrepreneur and become financially free. Remember, don't let life dictate to you. Rather, put your signature on life.
Check me out.
He tells me my energy is making him tired.
Yes!
How do you get the energy to do
I've been told that I have a lot of energy, but my goodness, I think today I have met my match, people. I have met my match, Miss Suzanne. Wow, amazing.
One of the things that's the start of the darkness. Of darkness. So I wanted that.
Myself and the world will adjust. And 2019,
Forget the proverbial boardroom. Join me, Simone Frazier, on the CEO, the program that gives you the driving seat over your life. Every Tuesday, 8 p.m. only on Starr Radio.
If you know God is a good God, come on. Everybody put your hands together. If you know He's been good, lift your hands and say, you were good, Lord, yeah, yeah, yeah. Everybody say, Lord.
Well, welcome back to the program. It is Starr Radio UK, your favorite African and Caribbean radio station in London. Let's have a quick look at an announcement and then we go global trotting. Now this afternoon exactly at 1:30, BB Clement will be coming away with BB Means Business. And today she's going to be looking at how to build your own wealth without leaving your day job. And it's just going to be the taster session because this program is going to take place on the 4th of December. That is coming Saturday. So make a date with her this afternoon where she brings you a sneak view of what is going to happen on Saturday. That will benefit you a great deal. I'm just getting ready to know that as well. So stay tuned, don't you go away. It is Starr Radio UK. Now it's time for us to go global trotting. And as I will say all the time, if you are not sitting, hold on to something. If you are sitting now, sit down very comfortably. Get yourself a hot or cold drink, whichever is appropriate. I've got myself a hot drink. So, let's go global trotting. It could be bumpy, but hey, be rest assured of a safe arrival at our destination. More information about the globe. From archaeology to zoology, from Accra to Zanzibar. If I say it all the time, if it's making the headlines, why not? We're going to touch on it. Yes, so England face mask rules return over variant fears. The covering becomes mandatory in shops and on public transports, and the measures to slow Omicron spread. So please, if you're embarking on any journey today, please make sure you got it on. You know, anytime I go in a car, call it a public transport, I make sure that I have my mask on, whether it's on or whether they are. No, I just make sure I do that. I go to the shops, I still have my masks on. So it behoves on you to also do so, okay? So we all do our best to, bring it to the barest minimum, whatever it is. So at least those of you looking forward to celebrating Christmas, you can go ahead. And then little kids who are looking forward eagerly to celebrate Christmas can go ahead to do so. But I'll be looking at that in a moment, more details about our story. Well, NHS will invite people to book booster jabs. Now, Omicron variant present in Netherlands earlier than previously thought. Well, so was it coming from South Africa, or was it something that has metamorphosed into whatever it is from that side of the world? Now, is it right for us to say that, well, countries in South Africa, South African countries should not be allowed or should be stopped from getting to the some other countries? Well, we're looking into all that in a moment. Well, MI6 boss warns of China debt traps and data traps. Now, Richard Moore also denies the fall of Kabul was an intelligence failure in an interview, which I will bring your way in a moment. Now, Yvette Cooper joins Labour's top team in reshuffle. Sir Keir Starmer makes big changes to his shadow cabinet for the second time as Labour leader. Who has he picked? We're going to be looking at that and see the efforts that and whether that can bring about any change in the prospect of they becoming the next government. Well, EasyJet says Omicron has weekend bookings. You know, when I say Omicron, I'm like, President Macron's old type of COVID. Now, child abusers face life sentences under Tony's law. The adoptive family of Tony Haddo, 7, have campaigned for harsher sentences for abusers. Of course. We support them 110%. If there's any more that we can add to it, we will add to that. Okay, moving on straight to other parts of the world as well. Barbados becomes the world's newest republic. As I said earlier on, the Caribbean nation parts way with the Queen in a ceremony attended by Prince Charles and Rihanna. We're bringing you more on that front. The statement that Prince Charles made and the apologies that some were looking for the royal rendering to the people of Barbados. And link papers link China leaders to Uyghur crackdown. They show speeches by Xi Jinping and others which led to the Uyghurs' mass internment and forced labor. Well, they're saying that, well, they are taking them to school. They're not doing anything wrong to them. Well, we'll be looking at that in a moment. And sex harassment rife in Australia Parliament. Canberra's workplace culture has left a trail of devastation for women especially, and review finds. Oh my, oh my. And World Health Organization warns of very high global risks from Omicron. Okay, we'll be looking at all those in a moment. It is Starr Radio UK. It is your favorite African and Caribbean radio station in London. A US actor has hatched a secret plan for hoax hate crime. Joseph Smollett is accused of staging an attack on himself in 2019 as a publicity stunt. I remember that story. And Maxwell preyed on young girls for Epstein. Prosecutors say Ghislaine Maxwell was essential to Jeffrey Epstein's abuse as her trial opens. I don't know what the defense is going to put through, but I really hope that they are able to defend it. I want the truth to prevail, nothing but the truth. It is Starr Radio UK. It is your favorite African and Caribbean radio station in London. The former Pentagon Chief Mark Esper sues Pentagon. Now, Trump-fired Defense Secretary opposes the Defense Department reduction to its new memoir. Omicron lockdown not needed for now. The president urges Americans not to panic about the new coronavirus variant, saying a lockdown is avoidable. A Michael Jackson imitator has been charged with a capital rights. Investigators say the man wore a bad well-tore jacket to the riot and brought a homemade shield. It's also been charged there. And it's all coming your way from Starr Radio UK. We're following to see what the Honduras election results have been now, as whether the incumbent party is accepting defeat now. We'll be trying our best to see whether we can bring you more on that front. And moving on to Europe. IS man guilty of genocide in Yazidi murder trial, Taha al-Jumaili is jailed for life for crimes including the murder of a young Yazidi girl in 2015. I hope that he faces the full rigors of the law, not just putting him somewhere. No. Hard labor, that's what I'm calling for. So coming your way from Starr Radio UK. And it's the morning show. An Australian bank has paid out charging dead people. Australia's second largest bank, Westpac, has agreed to pay $81 million in penalties and compensate customers. They were charging dead people. Oh, even when you die, you don't have peace. You see? Well, Starr Radio UK. China's traffic light surveillance of reporters. Now, document details how one province is making a facial recognition system to spot people of concern. Oh my goodness. Okay, so we'll bring you more on the front wherever you are. Stay tuned, don't you go away. Okay, moving on to the African continent now. Well, just look at what is happening there. Uganda launches airstrike against rebel group. The authorities blame the ADF, which is affiliated to Islamic State, for a series of recent bombings that took place there. And don't panic over Omicron. South Africa Health Minister says Joe Parler says South Africa is experienced in dealing with COVID variants despite a surge in cases. And Guinea Junta says ex-president moved to wife's home. The post-president Alpha Conde has been incommunicado since the 5th of this September. And Rwanda is to start giving COVID booster jobs. 3rd doses will be given to those aged over 50 or younger people with underlying conditions. Starr Radio UK, your favorite African and Caribbean radio station in London. So on the African continent, DRC National Championship of Wheelchair Basketball takes place there. Well, in South Africa, South Africans are rushing to get the COVID jobs to beat the new viral strain. Now, people queue in their cars to get vaccinated against COVID-19 at a drive-through vaccination center in Cape Town. This comes after dozens of nations decided to ban South Africans from traveling to their place. Well, the Chinese government have pledged up to 1 billion COVID vaccine doses for Africa. Why is the Chinese trying to work their way into the African continent? That is the fear of some of the Western countries. We're looking at all that in a moment. It is on Starr Radio UK. 5 minutes past the top of the hour. The favorite African and Caribbean radio station in London. Moving on straight to Nigeria. Bank robbers kill policeman. FRSC Special Marshal in Ekiti. Well, for the illiterate, authorities are saying that beware of scammers, digital media practitioners, online business owners. I am friend with Buhari's chief of staff, others in Aso Rock. Igbo groups demand Arewa youth leaders arrest over alleged plan to destabilize Nigeria. More going to be coming your way. It is Starr Radio UK, your favorite African and Caribbean radio station in London. But moving on straight to Ghana to bring you a couple of stories there before we take the break for you to listen to the rest of the music as I promise you all the time. A quick one. Yes, Irish youth attack mining site. MPP regional chairman DCE is accused and blame Akufo-Addo's arrogance of power for budget rejection. Martin Amidu says and minority has no alternative to 2022 budget. So if they don't have alternative, then what do we do? Is it a stalemate? And what is going to happen there? Homosexuality and mental disorder, not biological. Kwesi Osei says. We'll be bringing you more on that front. Well, it is Starr Radio UK, your favorite African and Caribbean radio station in London. Balbin conduct assault on democracy, fixing the country movement. And then budget rejection shows leadership address economic uncertainty. Adongo is also saying there. Now, information coming through talks about the the security chief in Ghana who has been found in a compromised situation. Now I'm asking the question again: should Kandapa now fall on his sword and get out of that office? Well, somebody will say that does not, affect his job at all. But let's talk about somebody who passed a few days ago, or about a week on. That is Captain Kojo Chikata. And then let's look at him. Did you hear anything about him at the time? Nothing. Maybe because we didn't have social media platforms and stuff like that. That's why we didn't have anything of the sort. But I can tell you that absolutely nothing was heard of him. But we'll be bringing you more on that front. Beware of Kabuki to reverse irreversible rejection of 2022 budget. Who is speaking? The former Special Prosecutor Amidu. All right then. So this and a lot more going to be coming your way. Don't you go away. It is Star Radio UK. It is your favorite African and Caribbean radio station in London. Time now, 8 minutes past the top of the hour. Enjoy the rest of this song uninterrupted. And when I come back, I bring you what is happening in Nigeria. Stay tuned. Don't you go away.
You were good, Lord, yeah. Everybody say, Lord,
I'm here to sing
my praises
for all you have done.
And I
will lift my voice
to give you
thanks and say you are God.
For your love and your grace, for your faithfulness each day.
All honor, all glory to you.
I will lift up my voice, I'll stand tall and say,
your smartphone. Broadcasting worldwide online 24/7.
Are you ready to turn it up? In your car,
at work,
at home,
on your smartphone.
Only the best music.
Your favorite Afro-Caribbean radio station in the
This is your friend Uruj from SendWave. SendWave is a money transfer app that is used by people all over the world to send money to their loved ones in Africa. With SendWave, you can send money to Ghana, Nigeria, Kenya, Uganda, and Tanzania. And the best part is, SendWave is absolutely commission-free. Our exchange rates are excellent. You can see for yourself by checking them out on our website. So how do you use SendWave? SendWave is an app that you can download onto your phone from the App Store or Google Play Store. The app is free to download. After downloading it, just open the app and enter your name, email, and phone number. That's it. You're good to go. Make sure you use the promo code SR. S for Star, R for Radio. This promo code will give you £5 free credit to send to Africa on your first transaction. Your money will be delivered to your recipient within seconds. Feel free to call me on 0749 7377 647 at any time. I'll be happy to tell you all about SendWave and help you in any way I can. Remember to use the promo code SR for £5 free credit. Medasse.
Hi everyone, it's your girl BB Clement, the author of How to Go From Employee to Entrepreneur and the host of your weekly business show, BB Means Business, the show where we discuss everything you ever wanted to know about business but you were afraid to ask. How do I start my business? How do I raise the finance? How do I grow my business? Where am I going to find my customers? Join me every Tuesday at 1:30 p.m. on Starr Radio UK to get all the information and tips that you need to become a successful entrepreneur and become financially free. Remember, don't let life dictate to you. Rather, put your signature on life.
Check me out. He tells me my energy is making him tired.
Yes!
How do you get the energy to do
I've been told that I have a lot of energy, but my goodness, I think today I have met my match, people. I have met my match, Miss Suzanne. Wow, amazing.
One of the things that's the start of the darkness. The of darkness.
So what did that
myself and the world just and 2019.
Forget the proverbial boardroom. Join me, Simone Frazier, on the CEO, the program that gives you the driving seat over your life. Every Tuesday, 8 p.m. only on Starr Radio.
Welcome back to the program Starr Radio UK, your favorite African and Caribbean radio station in London, bringing the time now to 16 minutes past the top of the hour, and it's now time for the updates from Nigeria. So just stay with me, don't you go away. Let's see what is happening in Nigeria. There are a few stories there that I'll bring your way for the sake of those of you who have not been able to go there to have a look at what has happened or have not been there. But if you are listening to us and maybe you have some more information about some of the stories pertaining to Nigeria or other parts of the world you want to share with us, feel free to do so. I promise you I'm going to read that out. Okay, so make sure that all that you do, make sure you do so. Just send it through. You can text it or WhatsApp it or post it on our Facebook page, and then I promise you I'm gonna read it out. Okay, all right. Now the first story talks about Buhari writes to electoral body, the INEC, before assenting to electoral amendments bill. Isn't going to be any amendments there at all, because there have been some issues that I've been asking. I remember a few months ago having a discussion on this platform, and then asking Olayemi Koiki as to whether when it comes to the Odua group and the IPOP, the Biafrans or the IPOP group, the Igbo groups, will they accept maybe amendments in the constitution so that election is, I mean, something of the sort, as to whether this goes far enough to make them now think that, okay, there's a chance for some normality or some fair representation is another thing that we want to see. But President Muhammadu Buhari has written to the Independent National Electoral Commission chairman Mahmoud Yakubu, seeking advice over the Electoral Act Amendment Bill 2021. Buhari, in the letter, sought comments on the controversial sole adoption of direct primary options for parties to produce candidates for elections, among other key issues ahead of the 2023 general election. The Senate has recently passed the Electoral Act Amendment Bill and approved that all political parties must use the direct primary mode in picking candidates. It also gave approval on the electronic transmission of results. The development, however, sparked outrage, with some governors and lawmakers sharing different views on the matter. Senate President Ahmad Lawan had earlier said the expectation of members of the National Assembly was that Buhari would sign Electoral Bill 2021 into law. He called for more engagement to be coordinated by the leadership of All Progressive Congress, the APT, to resolve any form of disagreement and assuage the feelings of governors who were not happy over the direct primary option. Now, recall that last Thursday, the Speaker of the House of Representatives, Femi Gbajabiamila, said the president was in support of the direct primary, which allows all card-carrying members of political parties to be involved in the choice of candidate for major elections after meeting with the president. The president has until December 19 to sign the bill or communicate to the National Assembly his feelings and comments about the bill. The Senate and the House of Representatives can recall the bill and pass it. If after 30 days the president refuses to sign the bill automatically becomes a law even without the signature of the president. If it is passed in the form it was sent to the president by 2/3 majority votes in both chambers. Meanwhile, Nigerians await the update on the content of the letter from the senior special assistant to the president on media and publicity, Garba Shehu. The president will consult with those who he believes are important to his decision and who can advise him on the Electoral Act, and he will meet them. But I cannot draw boundaries or name specifics and say this is who the president might meet. He ultimately decides, he had said. Okay, so it's coming away from Starr Radio UK, your favorite African and Caribbean radio station in London. But what do you think? Do you think that amendment goes far enough? I know we've not had the privacy of knowing exactly the content of it, but do you think with what I've read so far, does it go far enough to give them some hope that hey, maybe we could just get on with it, and that will give us a fair representation of who we want to represent us or lead us in the country? What do you think? Well, it is all Starr Radio UK. It is your favorite African and Caribbean radio station in London. Some more stories coming your way from Nigeria. Well, when it comes to elections, we're looking at numbers, right? But Nigeria's population projection is scary and needs urgent control. That's what the federal government is saying. The federal government says Nigeria's population projection is scary, hence the urgent need to put in place control measures to keep the country's population growth in check. Now, Mr. Boss Mustafa, the secretary to the government of the federation, stated this yesterday in Abuja during a book launch. The book, written by Dr. Manasa Jatau, retired Deputy Comptroller General of the Nigeria Customs Service, is titled A Sociology for Medical Practice. Mustafa said, given 1 or 2 decades from now, Nigeria will become the 3rd most populous country, coming after China and India. There is an urgent need for us to begin to plan for this increase. Now, right now, we are dealing with a youth population, and we have not been able to provide solution to some of the complaints in the country. He goes on further to say, the SGF appreciated the author for his deep insight into issues of leadership in determining the effectiveness and efficiency of organizations, especially in physical and economic world, as captured in the book. Mustafa further emphasized the need to develop Nigeria's traditional medicine, adding that it will create employment, develop the nation's pharmaceutical products, as well as improve its economy. Well, would that help? Would that help? Or are they going to roll out birth control measures? So now they're going to give or put in place measures that the Chinese did put in place to curb the rising of their population. So one family, one child. But even with that, I mean, as it is at the moment, what help is government giving to people to take care of their own family? People are bearing their own blood, doing everything by themselves. But well, somebody will say, well, the infrastructure is not big enough or good enough to go, to be for all of us, and therefore some few are still enjoying it, others are not actually. So what do you think about all that? Coming your way from Starr Radio UK? Yes, Starr, your favorite African and Caribbean radio station in London. Now moving on straight to some other stories as well. Now, a quick one. Igbo groups demand Arewa youth leaders arrest over alleged plan to destabilize Nigeria. Igbo socio-political group Nzuko Ndigbo and World Igbo Youth Council, the WIYC, have lambasted the Arewa Youth Consultative Forum for warning against the demand by Igbo leaders for release of the detained leaders of the indigenous people of Biafra, Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. The Northern group spoke after a meeting between President Muhammadu Buhari and Igbo elders led by Chief Mbazolike Amechi. Reports coming through that the president of the Arewa Youth Consultative Forum, Yerima Shetima, and had in an interview claimed that allowing Kanu to go unpunished will be harmful to Nigeria and the federal government. Reacting, the Nzuko Ndigbo and WIYC in a statement jointly signed respectively by their spokesperson Idomobi Promise and Emenika Wagbara, and made available to us, said question why Shetima, whom they accuse of trying to destabilize Nigeria over the years and who should be behind bars by now, will issue such warning to the government. The Igbo socio-cultural group lamented that the federal government is yet to arrest Shetima, despite his dangerous and divisive comments and efforts to burn the country in the past. The organizations commended President Muhammadu Buhari for the move to release Nnamdi Kanu, who was unlawfully abducted by agents of the government. According to the group, it was this same man that gave Igbos quit notice in the north some years ago and nearly tore the nation. The Nzuko Ndigbo and the World Igbo Youth Council further insisted on the unconditional release of Nnamdi Kanu and appropriate apologies to him. Now it's interesting because this is a case where somebody who has perpetrated very, very evil deeds, divisive, method of doing whatever that he wanted to do, saying that, well, government, you know what, if you release this man, you are not doing a good thing. He has done wrong and needs to be punished for that. Meanwhile, when he was, at a point, sacked or tried to threaten all the Igbo people in the north, that if they don't leave the north, whatever is going to happen to them, and they have to leave and come to their areas or come to the south where they are, then the issue is, why wasn't he put behind bars, but is left roaming the streets of Nigeria free? And he made give such an advice to government, and government will hearken to it? Well, it is Starr Radio UK. What do you think about that? We'll be bringing you more on that front. Coming from updates from Nigeria. This days coming your way from me, Archie, here in the studio. Now, still coming from the Biafran area, Biafra cannot be exchanged for Igbo presidency, secessionist leader is saying. Prince Wal Chimezie Richards, the leader of the Biafran Nation League, the BNL, has said achieving the sovereignty of eastern and southern Nigeria is the main target. According to Richards, call by some elders for a Nigerian president of Igbo extraction is on the wrong track. Now, Biafra cannot be exchanged for Igbo presidency. He said this struggle is more than Igbo affair. It is not an Igbo agenda that a particular people will feel when they give them presidency. Then every other people should relax. The way you have your own concerns in the way other ethnic groups too have their own concerns. What about the ethic? They have what they need to from the federal government. What about the Ibibios? And you are interested in presidency. So every other group has been marginalized, has been cheated. Richard said in a Facebook live via the BN verified page last night. Now, no reasonable person would think that when you give them president, then the struggle for independence will stop. That means we are not actually fighting for Biafra. We are seeking for favor from the federal government. Now, if we stop the agitation because an Igbo man has become president, then that means we are not fighting for Biafra. It means we are looking for something from the center, and it's not what. And it's not what we are in the struggle for. We are fighting for Biafra. We are fighting for total liberation of our people. Well, that is what he said. But looking at it, do you think that maybe appeasing them with the leadership of the country, maybe that person who becomes the president now will appoint people from that area as well to come and dominate a bit? Do you think that will, forestall peace that we are so much in shortage in Nigeria at the moment? What do you think? It is All Star Radio UK. It is your favorite African and Caribbean radio station in London. Now I find out one from the Igbo area. Now, Igbo is supporting Nnamdi Kanu. That's not fit to be governor of any southeast state. Yakasai is saying. Who is Yakasai? All right. Now, Northern leader Tanko Yakasai says Igbos have not shown seriousness in their bid to produce Nigeria's president come 2023, adding that the prominent Southeasterners are busy throwing their weight behind IPOP leader Nnamdi Kanu. Now, Mr. Yakasai, who made this statement while speaking on Channel TV yesterday night, said the support given secessionists in the Southeast region by prominent citizens was doubtful. Explaining why, Mr. Yakasai said there is doubt because this Nnamdi Kanu, whom ordinarily will not be a good candidate for the governorship of any of the southeastern states, is now claiming the attention and support of prominent people in the southeast. I am a strong supporter of president from the south after Buhari, and also if he can come from the southeast, no problems, but I will support it. Mr. Yakasai said the quarrel is that this is not something that you just stay at home and think that people will come to your house to dash it to you. Advising the Igbos, the northern leader stated that you have to show interest, you have to be serious, you have to try to convince people that you are really up to the task. This is what, in my opinion, is missing in the southeast. Now, if you're listening to me, you support the southeast, the Igbos, the IPOP, and all that. Do you think that he's speaking to you? Do you think that he's saying that, well, you guys, do some work in your bedroom, make sure that things are taken along nicely, and then make sure that when you stretch forth your hand, people will know that you are serious and therefore will give you that mandate? But, like others have said, like some people from that area have also said that they are not interested in that. They are interested in fighting for freedom of that whole area, because they think that they've been marginalized enough that they don't want to continue with it, whatever it is. Even if you buy everybody Rolls Royce in that particular, we don't want to know. All that we want is that we want to be free. We want to be able to rule ourselves. We want to have our own domain where we control everything that we do. Do you think that will help them? Well, it is Starr Radio UK. 11:32 the time. The morning show, the program. Now let's come to some other stories making the rounds. The anti-graft agency EFCC arraigns Ondo State Speaker over 2.4 million naira fake seminar. Wow. The nation's anti-graft agency, the Economic and Financial Crimes Commission, has arraigned on Tuesday the Speaker of Ondo State House of Assembly, Bamidele Oleyalogun, over financial misconduct. According to Daily Independent, the legislature is being arraigned for alleged 2.4 million naira fake seminar under his watch. Now, Oleyalogun and some members and officials of the assembly were alleged by Honorable Iroju Ogundelji, the deputy speaker of the assembly, who has controversially removed of collecting and sharing some money for a seminar in Lagos which they never attended. Now, Ogundelji had written EFCC to probe the fund allegedly received and shared by the speaker and others for a bogus seminar in Lagos State. But operatives of the Olokuta Correctional Center prevented journalists who were on ground to cover the court proceedings from gaining entry into the court. A squadron commander who manned the entry point insisted that journalists could not be allowed in because there was an order from Abuja that all correctional centers should be on red alert to prevent jailbreak. Really? Wow. Well, it is Starr Radio UK. It is your favorite African and Caribbean radio station in London. What do you think about all the stories that I put across? It's all coming your way from Nigeria, and it is Archie. Now, we got into the Unitide, and the members of scammers, digital media, beware of scammers. Digital media practitioners want online business owners. Okay, so if you're in Nigeria listening to us, especially, please heed to these instructions. As the Unitide season draws nearer, a call has been made by the president of the Digital Media Practitioners of Nigeria, Mr. Ladi Ogunzeye, to beware of scammers. He made the call in the light of numerous fraud cases the online businesses owners have reported. Ogunzeye stressed that business owners who run their businesses using online channels should continually ensure they verify and any product and purchase requests, as well as verify email link clicks requests before clicking on them to avoid falling for the numerous schemes perpetrated by these online scammers. He called for caution when interacting and doing business online this season. He also advised customers to ensure that they verify the business details in multiple channels before making payment to an online vendor as a result of this fraud incidents. Okay, in the same vein, Ogunzeye has made a call for business owners to claim their business page on Google. He explained that scammers have decided to start creating fake business pages for unsuspecting business owners, thereby using this to collect money for unsuspecting customers of these brands. Now, Ogunzeye cited how members of his association has been helping business owners claim and manage their Google business pages, which helps safeguard them from scammers who also use their business name to carry out unscrupulous fraudulent activities there in the continent as well. So please, if you are doing online businesses, this is the time that you have someone to say shine your eyes and watch out. Be on the lookout for such scammers who always try to take advantage. Now, the final story from Nigeria before we take a break, and this is from Lai Mohammed accuses IPOB ESN of killing abducted police officers. Well, Lai Mohammed, so what do you expect? Now, Minister of Information and Culture Lai Mohammed has accused the outlawed indigenous people of Biafra and its military arms, the Eastern Security Network, the ESN, for the horrific and barbaric gruesome killings of 2 policemen out of the 3 who were abducted a few days ago. The minister, who made the allegations while addressing a press conference in Abuja on Monday, insisted that intelligence reports traced a viral video made by the killers of the people, the police officers, to the proscribed groups, assured that those who killed the officers in a cannibalistic manner, videotaped and circulated the atrocious act, will be brought to book. We have credible information that the ASP, Francis Idoko, Inspector Emmanuel Akubu, and Inspector Rufai Adamu, all 7 officers of the Nigeria police were abducted by members of the Eastern Security Network, acting on the instruction of their leader, Chinoso Okafor, aka Tempo, on the 27th of November, Mohammed said. Now, 2 of the other the officers, Inspectors Akubu and Adamu, were killed in the most gruesome manner, and their decapitated bodies videotaped and circulated widely. The leader of the ESN team that killed the 2 officers is one Gentle. Now, Chinoso Okafor, the most influential commander of ESN in charge of Imo and Anambra states, as well as Gentle, and all those who perpetrated the abhorrent act will be made to face swift and sure justice, the minister added. But is it true that they perpetrated the act? That is another question that will be answered another day. But this is where we bring the updates from Nigeria to a close for today. It is Starr Radio UK. It is your favorite African and Caribbean radio station in London. Don't you go away. We're going to take a break, so I'm bringing some lovely tune, and then we'll go on to other parts of the world to look up all the other stories making the rounds today. Well, Starr Radio UK, your favorite African and Caribbean radio station in London.
Hi guys, this is your friend Uruj from SendWave. SendWave is a money transfer app that is used by people all over the world to send money to their loved ones in Africa. With SendWave, you can send money to Ghana, Nigeria, Kenya, Uganda, and Tanzania. And the best part is, SendWave is absolutely commission free. Our exchange rates are excellent. You can see for yourself by checking them out on our website. So how do you use SendWave? SendWave is an app that you can download onto your phone from the App Store or Google Play Store. The app is free to download. After downloading it, just open the app and enter your name, email, and phone number. That's it. You're good to go. Make sure you use the promo code SR. S for Star, R for Radio. This promo code will give you £5 free credit to send to Africa on your first transaction. Your money will be delivered to your recipient within seconds. Feel free to call me on 0749 7377 647 at any time. I'll be happy to tell you all about SendWave and help you in any way I can. Remember to use the promo code SR for £5 free credit. Medasse.
Hi everyone, it's your girl BB Clement, the author of How to Go From Employee to Entrepreneur and the host of your weekly business show, BB Means Business, the show where we discuss everything you ever wanted to know about business but you were afraid to ask. How do I start my business? How do I raise the finance? How do I grow my business? Where am I going to find my customers? Join me every Tuesday at 1:30 p.m. on Starr Radio UK to get all the information and tips that you need to become a successful entrepreneur and become financially free. Remember, don't let life dictate to you. Rather, put your signature on life.
Check me out. He tells me my energy is making him tired.
Yes!
How do you get the energy to do
I've been told that I have a lot of energy, but my goodness, I think today I have met my match, people. I have met my match, Miss Suzanne. Wow, amazing.
One of the things that's the start of the darkness. Of darkness.
So what did that
myself and the world in a just and 2019.
Forget the proverbial boardroom. Join me, Simone Frazier, on the CEO, the program that gives you the driving seat over your life. Every Tuesday, 8 p.m. only on Starr Radio.
Are you looking for the fastest, reliable, and trustworthy door-to-door shipment company? Well, look no further. When was the last time your family received a shipment back in Ghana on time and in time? You are not sure? Well, Lamb Shippers, we pride ourselves with being the fastest, reliable, and trustworthy shippers you can use. You are assured of prompt pickup anywhere in the UK by our personnel. They also make sure your items are well packaged to get to its destination in time. When it comes to door-to-door shipment, look no further. Well, Lamb Shippers, contact us on 07939009321 or 074-98911820. Or you can visit our website www.worldlamp.co.uk. You can also drop us a mail, info@worldlamp@gmail.com. World Lamp Shippers, fast, reliable, and trustworthy.
Yes, I want to know which way Nigeria is heading to. Which way Nigeria? Which way Nigeria? Which way to go? Which way to go? I love my fatherland. Oh yeah. I want to know. I want to know which way Nigeria is heading to. Many years after independence, we still find it hard to start. How long shall we be patient before we reach the promised land? Let's save Nigeria so Nigeria won't die. Which way Nigeria? Which way? Which way Nigeria? Tell me which way to go. I love my fatherland. Oh yeah. I want to know. Yes, I want to know which way Nigeria is heading to. Every little thing that goes wrong, we start to blame the government. We know everything that goes wrong because we are part of the government. Let's save Nigeria so Nigeria won't die. Which way Nigeria? Which way? Which way Nigeria? Tell me which way to go. Which way to go? I love my fatherland. Oh yeah. I want to know. Want to know which way Nigeria is heading to. Inefficiency and indiscipline is ruining the country now. Corruption here, there, and everywhere. Inflation is soaring high. Let's save Nigeria so Nigeria won't die. Which way Nigeria? Which way Nigeria? Which way to go? Which way to go? I love my fatherland. Oh sure, sure.
This is Starr Radio UK.
In your car,
At work.
at home.
Broadcasting worldwide, online 24/7.
Ready to turn it up.
During the oil boom, not knowing that
Archie on Starr Radio. Nobody
now
does it
have
better.
everything, why many have nothing. Let's save Nigeria so Nigeria won't fall.
Wow, which way Nigeria? By the late Sonny Okuso on Starr Radio UK.
Which way to go?
So wherever you are, let me say massive thank you and welcome to the program. Welcome back to the program. It's now gone 40 minutes to the top of the hour. Exactly at 12 o'clock, the lines will be open for you to add your voice to the discussions. But before then, if you want to post your comments, feel free to do so. Go to our Facebook page and then post your comments there, or you can text or WhatsApp it to me 07539661744 07539661744. What do you think about a story that is made the rounds in Nigeria today? Share your take with us. Starr Radio UK, your favorite African and Caribbean radio station in London. Now let's look at some of the stories making the rounds here in the UK and other parts of the world as well. Okay. Yes. All right. Now, so have you been out today? Have you gone on a public transport? Have you gone into a shop? Have you done anything? Have you traveled on a public transport today? Do you have a mask on? Or do you think, no, I don't want to do nothing? As some who are thinking that, well, I mean, all this COVID nonsense is all, I mean, just going on to what end? Every time they're going to tell us there's a new strain and a new that and a new that, then to what end? Okay. But well, the government has come out to say that England face mask rules return over variant fears. The story says that now face coverings have become mandatory again on public transport and shops in England in an effort to slow the spread of the Omicron coronavirus variant. Now people arriving in the UK from abroad will now also have to take a PCR test and self-isolate until they receive a negative result. So until you receive that, you cannot come out. It comes after 14 cases of the new variant were detected in the UK. Boris Johnson is expected to set out plans for the booster jab program in England at a news conference later. On Monday, the government announced a major expansion of the booster jab rollout as part of efforts to help stop a potential wave of infections. They are to be offered to all over 18s in the UK. Now, with children aged 12 to 15 invited for a second jab. Now, more local pharmacies could be used as part of the rollout, and it's likely that there will be some prioritization to ensure that the vulnerable get their top-up shots first, as with the original scheme. Now, 3 Omicron cases have been found in Scotland, and Health Secretary Sajid Javid has said it is expected cases of the new variant will continue to rise. Now, early evidence suggests Omicron, first found in South Africa, has a higher reinfection risk. But scientists say it will take about 3 weeks before it is known how the variant impacts on the effectiveness of vaccines. Mr. Johnson said the new mask and testing measures will buy us time in the face of this new variant. Richard Walker, managing director of the Iceland grocery chain, said his compulsory supported compulsory mask wearing, but he will not be asking staff to police those who refuse to do so. Now, Care Minister Gillian Keegan also said that it was down to individuals to do the right thing, calling on the public to be sensible, and said she understood where Mr. Walker was coming from. While it is still unclear the impact the new variant could have, she said people should continue with their Christmas plans but be cautious. So are you embarking on your Christmas plan that you have rolled out, your shopping and the big gatherings and all that? Are you still embarking on it? We have about 3 weeks for the scientists to come out. So let's say by the 15th or the 20th, we will know exactly whether it's social infectious that we have to stay away or what. But yeah, keep on shopping, keep on spending, keep on enjoying yourself. Be in expectation. All right. Well, it is Starr Radio UK. It is your favorite African and Caribbean radio station in London, with some of the stories making the rounds here in the UK. As I announced earlier on, the Prime Minister will be doing a press, Prime Minister to lead Downing Street COVID update at 16 hours GMT. So make a date if you want to know more about the happenings there. Now moving on straight to some other stories as well. Well, the MI6 boss is warning China's debt traps and data traps as well. The MI6 chief Richard Moore has warned of China's debt traps and data traps in his first live broadcast interview. Now Mr. Moore, known as C, you know, they have M, they have C, they have 007. I know 007 might not be real. okay. Let's see. Today's program, he says, speaking on today's program, threatened to erode sovereignty and have prompted defensive measures. Now, he denied the fall of Afghan capital Kabul was an intelligence failure and signaled closer ties with tech giants. The decision to speak more openly about his work was important in a modern democracy, the ex-secret agent said. In a wide-ranging interview ahead of his first major public speech since taking on the role as head of MI6, Mr. Moore warned China has the capability to harvest data from around the world and use money to get people on the hook. He admitted that the assessment of the Taliban progress in Afghanistan this summer was clearly wrong, but denied Kabul's fall was an intelligence failure. He described a chronic problem with Russia and Ukraine, with Russia posing an acute threat to the UK, and they supported closer links with technology partners and speeding up the vetting process of new tech-savvy recruits. Now, speaking about the threat posed by China, Mr. Moore described its use of debt traps and data traps. So how is it doing that? He said Beijing is trying to use influence through its economic policies to try and sometimes, I think, get people on the hook. Now, explaining the data trap, he said, if you allow another country to gain access to really critical data about your society, over time they will erode your sovereignty. You will no longer have control over the data. Now, that's something which I think in the UK we are very alive to, and we've taken measures to defend against. The assessment of the speed at which the Taliban would seize control of Kabul as British and American troops withdrew from Afghanistan was clearly wrong, Mr. Moore admitted. But he said it was really overblown to describe it in terms of intelligence failure. None of us predicted the speed of the fall of Kabul, he said. Frankly, if we had recruited every member of the Taliban Shura, the leadership group of the Taliban, if we recruited every one of them as a secret agent, we still wouldn't have predicted the fall of Kabul because the Taliban didn't. However, he added that there is no soft soaping, that the victory of the Taliban had been a serious reverse, and he is concerned it will be moral boost for extremists around the world, and indeed for those sitting in the capital in Beijing, Tehran, and Moscow. It is all coming your way from Starr Radio UK. It is your favorite African and Caribbean radio station in London. It is your favorite African and Caribbean radio station. So don't you go away. Looking at some of the other stories making the rounds here in London. So 5 minutes to the top of the hour. Now moving on to one final story from the UK front. See who has reshuffled his cabinet. Now, Labour reshuffle, Yvette Cooper becomes Shadow Home Secretary. And it says, Keir Starmer has appointed Yvette Cooper Shadow Home Secretary in a wide-ranging reshuffle of Labour top team. In other moves, David Lammy has been promoted to Shadow Foreign Secretary, replacing Lisa Nandy. Now, Ms. Nandy takes a new role scrutinizing leveling up Secretary Michael Gove. News of the appointment came several hours after the reorganization began on Monday morning during a speech by Labour Deputy Leader Angela Rayner. Ms. Rayner appeared to be blindsided by the news and told reporters she didn't know the details of the reshuffle or the timing of it. A source close to Labour leader said Ms. Rayner was told a reshuffle will be taking place on Monday. Now speaking to the BBC, Ms. Nandy said the gaffer picks the team. That is how it goes, and that is how it has always gone. Frankly, I couldn't care less about the circus, who is in and who is out, and who is up or who is down, who knew, who didn't. Okay, the new Labour shadow cabinet meet on Tuesday morning. Today, Ms. Cooper replaces Nick Thomas Simons, who took over as a shadow international trade secretary for Emily Thumbury. Elsewhere, Ed Miliband retains his role over climate change policy but loses his shadow business secretary role to Jonathan Reynolds. Now, West Streeting is promoted to Shadow Health Secretary, handing him a key role in scrutinizing the government's response to pandemic. And the 38-year-old who recently recovered from cancer surgery replaces Jonathan Ashworth, who becomes Shadow Work and Pensions Secretary. Now, Louise Haig leaves her post as Shadow Northern Ireland Secretary, replacing Jim Mahon as Shadow Transport Secretary. It comes after she made headlines earlier this month when she said Labour should be neutral if there was an Irish unity referendum. Now, she will be replaced in the role by Peter Kyle, who is promoted from his former role as Shadow Minister for Schools. Sir Keir Starmer said the reshuffle will give him a smaller, more focused shadow cabinet that mirrors the shape of the government we are shadowing. I look forward to working with the new team to show we are once again a serious party of government, the Labour leader added. The reorganization is the second big shake-up of Sir Keir Starmer's shadow ministerial team since he took over as Labour leader last year. His first after May's national and local election triggered an international row when Sir Keir Starmer attempted to remove Miss Rayner from her role as party chair and national campaign coordinator. Sir Keir Starmer cannot remove her from her main role as deputy leader, as she was elected into this position by the party members. So now I'm worried about that, because you know, when we had Jeremy Corbyn, he had his deputy and they were not getting on. So I asked myself, is it because they were all, fighting for the role as leaders? So I don't know whether if the person who gets more votes becomes the leader and the second one, the runner-up, becomes the deputy. If that is what is happening, fine. Or people will just say, I'm running for the deputyship. Okay, that's a post. So you either run for the leadership of the party or the deputyship. So that is what has happened. But why are they not getting on? Why are they not gelling? Because it shows that the party is not together, and they are not focused on looking at things holistically and looking at the government to actually chastise or criticize and make sure that they are towing the right line. But what do you think? This is what coming your way from Starr Radio UK. It is 12 o'clock now, and let me announce the lines opened. All right then, if you want to call us, it is 0208-133-2257 or 58. 0208-133-2257 or 58. If you happen to be in the US, Canada, or the Caribbean area, it is 001-718-303-2737. 001-718-303-2737. Text or WhatsApp is 0753-966-1744. 0753-966-1744. Our Twitter handle is Starr Radio UK, and email address is info@starradiouk.com. All right then. Let's take a quick break. We come back and I take you to other parts of the world, because when we look at Barbados becoming the world's newest republic, well, say freedom. They have the whole world at their disposal. What are they going to do with it? Well, we look at the speech that the Prince of Wales gave there, the apologies and everything. Did that go far enough? Are we looking at some reparations or what? So stay tuned, don't you go away. It is on Starr Radio UK, but share the broadcast with your friends and loved ones.
Hi guys, this is your friend Uruj from SendWave. SendWave is a money transfer app that is used by people all over the world to send money to their loved ones in Africa. With SendWave, you can send money to Ghana, Nigeria, Kenya, Uganda, and Tanzania. And the best part is, SendWave is absolutely commission-free. Our exchange rates are excellent. You can see for yourself by checking them out on our website. So how do you use SendWave? SendWave is an app that you can download onto your phone from the App Store or Google Play Store. The app is free to download. After downloading it, just open the app and enter your name, email, and phone number. That's it. You're good to go. Make sure you use the promo code SR. S for Starr, R for Radio. This promo code will give you £5 free credit to send to Africa on your first transaction. Your money will be delivered to your recipient within seconds. Feel free to call me on 0749 7377 647 at any time. I'll be happy to tell you all about SendWave and help you in any way I can. Remember to use the promo code SR for £5 free credit. Medasse.
Hi everyone, it's your girl BB Clement, the author of How to Go from Employee to Entrepreneur and the host of your weekly business show, BB Means Business, the show where we discuss everything you ever wanted to know about business but you were afraid to ask. How do I start my business? How do I raise the finance? How do I grow my business? Where am I going to find my customers? Join me every Tuesday at 1:30 p.m. on Starr Radio UK to get all the information and tips that you need to become a successful entrepreneur and become financially free. Remember, don't let life dictate to you. Rather, put your signature on life.
UK. In your car,
at work,
at home,
on your smartphone.
Here is a little song I wrote. You might want to sing it note for note. Don't worry, be happy. Life we had some trouble. When you worry you make it double. Don't worry.
This is Starr Radio UK.
Starr Radio. Radio for the people, by the people.
Don't worry. Be happy. Don't worry, be happy.
Ain't got no place to lay your head.
Are you ready to turn it up? In your car,
at work,
at home,
on your smartphone.
Only the best music.
Yeah, the landlord says your rent is late. May have to litigate. Don't worry, be happy.
Don't worry, be happy. Don't worry, be happy. Don't worry, be happy.
Don't worry about a thing, 'cause every little thing.
This is Starr Radio UK.
Your favorite Afro-Caribbean radio station in the UK.
About a thing, yeah. 'Cause every little thing is gonna be alright. Rise up this morning, smile with a rising sun.
This is Starr Radio UK. In your car,
at work,
at home,
on your smartphone.
Singing,
Broadcasting worldwide, online 24/7.
and true. Say yeah, this is my message to you.
Enlighten your day with Starr Radio.
About a thing,
This is Starr Radio UK.
'cause every little thing is gonna be alright.
not a thing. Wonder quadrophonics in India.
Smile with your eyes.
Yes, man. So wherever you are, don't you worry. In this world, troubles are bound to happen. But hey. Chin up, head up. And I tell you, things are gonna be alright. Okay. Hope you've enjoyed that tune. Now let's move on to some of the other parts of the world and look at some of the stories making the rounds in and across the globe. Like I announced earlier on, if you want to share with us any of the issues that we raised or touched on, feel free to do so. Call us on 0208-133-2257 or 58 0208-133-2257 or 58, or you can text or WhatsApp as it is 0753966174 0753966174. If you happen to be in the US, Canada, or the Caribbean area, it is 0017183032737 0017183032737. You can tweet at us. Our Twitter handle is Starr Radio UK and email address is info@starradiouk.com. Once again, welcome to the show. Now, let's move on to other parts of the world. This afternoon, as I announced earlier on, exactly at 1:30, we're going to be having BB Clement on BB Means Business. Well. Today is a teaser of what is going to be happening on Saturday when she brings you a live webinar. Okay, that's going to cost you on that one 99 quid. 99 quid. The early bird rate will be 80 quid, and it ends on the 14th of November. So it's ended already, but the program is coming or taking place on the 4th of December. That is this Saturday. So you have to cough up 99 quid. But hey, we bring you a teaser of what is going to be happening this Saturday here on BB Clement this afternoon at 1:30 exactly. It's how to build your own wealth. It's going to be featuring Dr. Remy Banjoko, Bimbola Osaji, and Sandra Ramsey. They are going to be on the panel. So make sure you join them all there. Starr Radio UK, don't you go away. Okay, now let's quickly go on to have a look at the stories making the rounds in other parts of the world. Yes, so let's pick that from Barbados. Yes, Barbados have become a republic and parts way with the Queen having its first leader, who is the first this is going to be president. Yes, a female leader there as well. Now, Barbados has officially removed Queen Elizabeth II as its head of state and become the world's newest republic. In an overnight ceremony in the capital, Bridgetown, Dame Sandra Mason was sworn in as president. The Prince of Wales and Barbadian singer Rihanna attended the event, which coincided with the country's 55th anniversary of independence. In a speech, Prince Charles acknowledged the appalling atrocity of slavery the Caribbean island suffered. The new era for Barbados ends Britain's centuries of influence, including more than 200 years when the island was a hub for transatlantic slave trade. To signify the official change of power, a final salute was made to the British monarchy and the royal standard flag was lowered and replaced. Speaking as the guest of honor at the event, Prince Charles reiterated the continued ties between the two nations despite the constitutional status change. He described the moment as a new beginning before being awarded the prestigious Order of Freedom of Barbados by the new president. The Queen sent the country her warmest good wishes for happiness, peace, and prosperity in the future, and said the nation holds a special place in her heart. Now, Dame Sandra Mason, 72, the island's governor general since 2018, was named as president-elect of the nation following a vote in parliament last month. She now replaces the Queen as the head of state. Now, vessel Republic Barbados has set sail on her maiden voyage. May she weather all storms and land our country and citizens safely on the horizon and shores which are ahead of us, she said after being sworn in. Barbados announced its plan to become a republic last year, but it will remain within the Commonwealth. Formerly known as the British Commonwealth, the Commonwealth of Nations is a loose association of former British colonies and current dependencies, along with some countries that have no historical ties to Britain. Well, so any country can now become part of the Commonwealth if they decide that we think that we want to be part of it, so we can be trading with it as well. Why not? Why not? Why not? Okay. Leading national figures, including Prime Minister Mia Mottley, swore allegiance to Barbados in front of the new president at the ceremony, which lasted for several hours. She later announced that pop star Rihanna will be named a national hero by President Mason. The artist and businesswoman, whose full name is Robin Rihanna Fenty, was previously named an ambassador by her home country in 2018. May you continue to shine like a diamond and bring honor to your nation, Miss Motley said in reference to one of Rihanna's songs there. Now, in the heat of Barbados night, the handover ceremony has combined pomp and ceremony with one big party. It had been a show of national pride with a sprinkling of this island most famous names as VIPs guests, including the cricketer Sir Garfield Sobers and the singer Rihanna. In between them, both sat the Prince of Wales. It must have been a moment of mixed emotions for him. He took the final salute and watched the royal standard lowered for the last time as his mother was removed as head of state. He used his speech to emphasize the pain of slavery and the enduring friendship of the two nations. The mood music from the royal household has been positive and pragmatic. They can't stop a constitutional shift, but they can try to ensure positive relationship remain. The country's prime minister has described the move to a republic as a seminal moment, which will see Barbados fully leave its colonial past behind. It was one of England's first slave colonies. English settlers first occupied the island in 1627, and under British control it became a sugar plantation economy using enslaved people brought in from Africa. Now, slavery was abolished in Barbados in 1834, and the country became fully independent in 1966. In his speech on Tuesday, Prince Charles spoke of the appalling atrocity of slavery, which he said forever stains our history. Before Barbados, the last nation to remove the Queen as head of state was Mauritius in 1992. With a population of about 285,000 people, Barbados is one of the more populous and prosperous Caribbean islands there as well. Once heavily dependent on sugar export, its economy has diversified but has been hit hard by COVID-19, hurting tourism and rising prices caused by supply chain disruptions. So let's see what is going to happen. As they said, well, the ship has set sail. The ship of Barbados has set sail. And let's see which horizon is going to be sailing through to bring all the goodness and the happiness. Vessel Republic Barbados has set sail on her maiden voyage. May she weather all storms and land the country and citizens safely on the horizon and shores which are ahead of them. Yes, that is all we pray for the people of Barbados. It's All Star Radio UK. It is your favorite African and Caribbean radio station in London. Now, moving on straight to some other stories making the rounds in other parts of the world as well. Well, the U.S. actor who had secret plan for hoax hate crime, I don't know what is going to happen to him. Josie Smollett hatched a secret plan to concoct a hoax hate crime against himself, a court has heard on the opening day of the US TV actors trial. Mr. Smollett, 39, told police in January 2019 that he was attacked by two men who shouted pro-Trump slogans and tied a noose around his neck. But his defense lawyers told the trial their client was a real victim. Mr. Smollett has denied wrongdoing. 15 jurors were chosen earlier on Monday to hear the case. Now, authorities allege that Mr. Smollett paid two Nigerian-born brothers $3,500 or £2,630 to carry out the attack to promote his career because he was dissatisfied with his salary on a TV show Empire, which is about a hip-hop dynasty. Mr. Smollett has claimed the payment was for one of the brothers to work as a personal trainer. The actor, who was written out of the Empire amid the fallout from the alleged hate crime hoax, was indicted by a special prosecutor in Illinois last year on 6 counts of lying to police. Now, during opening arguments on Monday, Special Prosecutor Dan Webb argued that the actor had developed a secret plan that will make it appear that there was actually a hate crime that actually occurred against him by supporters of Donald Trump. He said he conducted a dress rehearsal with the two brothers and directed them to shout racist and homophobic slurs at him, the Chicago Tribune reported. He told them to use a rope to make it look like a hate crime, Mr. Webb told the court. The two brothers accused of carrying out the attack, Abimbola and Olabinjo Osundiaro, are both expected to take the witness stand. Both men had worked as extras on Empire. Wow. Mr. Smollett arrived in court flanked by supporters and wearing a black face mask. The previous disorderly conduct charges against him had been dropped following an emergency court appearance in March 2019, prompting Chicago police and the city's mayor to accuse courts of letting Mr. Smollett off scot-free. Mr. Webb was later assigned to investigate how the case was handled. He announced that his office had obtained sufficient factual evidence to argue that the case should not have been dropped. Well, so what is going to happen to him? What is going to happen to him? That's the question. In a statement before trial, Mr. Webb said that prosecuting the case was in the interest of justice, partly due to the extensive nature of Mr. Smollett's false police reports and the resources expended by Chicago police to investigate. If convicted, Mr. Smollett faces a prison sentence for up to 3 years. Given Mr. Smollett's lack of previous convictions, however, legal experts have said a lighter sentence or probation is more likely. Good luck to him, but you don't just make a hoax issue like that. I mean, you don't do that. You don't do that because the police, have other things that are more important to investigate. But if you are feeling that way, is that if you are feeling that you want more money, would you go that far? Well, you want to know more about that? You have to join us on the Career 101 every Monday. If you want more money in your business or your job or in your career, make sure you listen to us on that. Linda Pallian will tell you how to do that. All right. It is All Star Radio UK. It is your favorite African and Caribbean radio station in London. 12:21 the time. I bring you one other story from the US and then we'll move on. Former Pentagon chief sues Pentagon over book release. The story says that former Pentagon chief Mark Esper sued the Pentagon over a reduction to his forthcoming memoirs. In a lawsuit filed on Sunday, Mr. Esper accuses the Defense Department of censoring portions of his manuscripts under the guise of classification. He was disappointed to have his right to free speech violated, he said. Now, Mr. Esper was appointed Defense Secretary in 2019 by former President Donald Trump, who fired him shortly after the November 2020 elections. His book, due to be released in May 2022, is an unvarnished and candid memoir of his time at the White House, according to the lawsuit filed in Washington, D.C. It accuses the agency that he led for 18 months of arbitrarily editing his memoirs. But what do you think? What do you think there? Well, it is on Starr Radio. Arbitrarily editing out a text of a sacred oath that Mr. Esper said was crucial to telling important stories discussed in the manuscript. Oh wow! It is Starr Radio UK. It is your favorite African and Caribbean radio station in London. It's gone 12:23, and I've got Kojo on the line. So let's go to Kojo and say, Kojo, good afternoon to you.
Yeah, good afternoon, Archie.
Yeah, how are you doing?
How are you? Yeah, I'm good.
Yeah, I'm also doing very, very well. Yes, nice to have you on. Yes, which have been your highlights so far on any of the issues that have been discussed?
Jesse Smollett. Oh my goodness.
He wants more money, so that is the way forward.
Yeah, I mean, I've been thinking of what's wrong with him. I mean, when the news first broke, that Justice Smollett has had racial abuse and all that, I think we all sympathize with him.
Yeah, we did.
Yeah, but as it developed further, and it came out that he actually engineered the whole thing, it just looked bizarre, really. That he could do that. Oh well, somebody say he's paying for his bad deeds.
Yeah.
I don't know how he's going to go down.
Well, they're saying that it's supposed to be, I mean, if he's found guilty, he should go down for 3 years. But for the fact that he has not had any previous criminal charges against him, so that might give him a bit of maybe a lighter sentence there. So we hope so.
But it's a terrible thing to do. I mean, to frame your own attack.
Yeah. Can you just imagine if something went wrong?
It just mirrors what happened in Ghana with that pop star.
Which one?
Shatawale.
Oh yeah.
It's the same. I mean, how do you frame your own? He even went a step further to frame his own death.
Yeah.
Which is again is bizarre. Why would you want to do that? I think whatever comes to him, he is responsible for that.
Okay. Listen to Starr Radio UK. Just a quick one on the UK front. Looking at the introduction of masks at the moment, do you think that it goes far enough for people, and the fact that it's not going to be like strictly that you have to have that on as per people's prerogative, they have to do it. Do you think that will give us the required result that we really want?
I think under the circumstances, they don't have much to do. They don't have a wiggle room. Let me put it that way. At the same time, they really want to be in a position where they are trying to judge whether the actions they've taken are right or they are wrong. And at the same time, there hadn't been conservative estimates say the wearing of facial covering or facial or masks prevents maybe under 10% of reinfection or picking it up from somebody. So mask wearing isn't really a panacea to you not getting it.
Okay.
You can be wearing masks all the time, but you can still get the virus.
Yeah. Because it's not 100% proof.
My personal view is a mixture of many things help.
Yeah.
So if the mask will protect you for about 10%, it's still protecting you to a certain level.
Yeah.
If mixing up with people and you stop all the huge mixing up with people will also help you. Yeah, fine. if they limit the number of people within, settings like they used to do, and you help, brilliant. If they increase the lateral flow test as they are doing, if it will also help, great. With the vaccine boosters, vaccines, great. So anything that they can really do to minimize the spread of a new variant, which at the moment we don't even know how dangerous it is or how mild it is, apart from the data that they've had from South Africa, which says that mainly is the young people who are carrying it. And we know with all the other strains of this virus, it doesn't really affect young people greatly.
But now it's affecting them. So as to whether they're going to be hospitalized all the time.
The extreme falling very sick. We know the young people always have mild sickness. As compared to
the older folks.
So if it is a young people which is mainly affecting is South Africa or Southern Africa, and they are just having mild sickness, it's the same for the Delta and for the Alpha. So really it is difficult to get until they have enough time to really do like blood samples, blood samples before they can really determine how serious it could be.
And that is 2 to 3 weeks. I mean, they are looking at that. It's going to take as long as that before. Well, listeners, Starr Radio UK, Kojo D in South London. Now let's look at Barbados. Now, do you think that they attaining Republican status will bring about any difference in their economy and stuff like that?
Well, let's face it, Barbados is a nice country. I mean, you see the blue seas. Even using the word blue is underestimate. Let me say turquoise.
Okay.
That makes it nice and beautiful. It's a beautiful part of the world. That look, all of us want to be. Barbados, to some extent already, they thrive more on tourism. They don't have a great deal of export, but they are probably a #1 destination for so many tourists, and as a result of that, the country has a small population and is relatively better than a lot of the Caribbean countries in terms of their economy and population and health and everything. It's better than most of the Caribbean countries. Well, being a republic doesn't really change their fortunes as it stands. But I think they're just breaking an umbilical cord from the crown. So they can now be, in any case, the British monarch was just, as we call it, not a real power.
Just a ceremonial head. That's all.
Just a ceremonial head. So that doesn't really change much. The country will continue to grow. The country's economy will continue to do well. Well, I have a couple of friends who come from there. If you talk to them currently, they don't see any difference really. It is Barbados will be Barbados. Barbados will continue to be a tourist hub, and as a hub, people will still go there. They will enjoy it. So, and there's a fairly enough. It's an expensive place also to be to live. Because of tourism had made it so expensive to be. For the natives, is there are some places that they cannot afford to live, although they don't still on a whole prosperous. But they are not prosperous up to the level of, if we're talking about Western countries and very rich countries. But they are not that a bad country.
But do you think that the statement that the Prince of Wales made falls short of maybe announcing some reparation for them? Because looking at how many years, call it 400 years. I mean, maybe. And with the way they've dealt with them, maybe it would have been a first example. Okay, we're giving them a reparation of so and so and so and so. Do you think they fall short of that?
Well, if they're going to give a reparation, then all African countries should give reparation. I mean, that's how it's going to be like. If Barbados says war reparation, Jamaica will be, given the fact that Jamaica, the British would have made more money from Jamaica. Barbados is a plantation.
Yeah.
Jamaica will also ask for reparation. And you have African countries, the former British colonies, who also be asking for reparation. Where is it going to stop? Yeah, I mean, given the fact of the treatment of some people within in Kenya.
Yeah.
They were the worst of people treated on the African continent. They're also going to ask for
reparation, and then
so I'm sure it's a way of trying to still keep Barbados sweet and happy, and still keep Barbados within the Commonwealth fold. I think that's all it is. The speech he made, it's not going to change anything. Because if there has to be any reparation to them, it has to come from the British government. And we know that the monarchy in the UK is also ceremonial. So the monarchy cannot really make any decision for the British state.
Okay. Well, listeners, it's Starr Radio UK. We've got 26 minutes to bring the program to a close. As I announced earlier on, this afternoon, exactly at 1:30, we'll be having BB Clement on BB Means Business. And today she's going to have a look at how to build your own wealth. Now, it's a teaser of a seminar that's going to be taking place this Saturday, and it's going to cost you £99 to register on that. But Slip View coming your way this afternoon, so make sure you make a date with her exactly at 1:30. But with me on the program now in South London is Kojo. I am Archie, and stay tuned, don't you go away. Okay, now let's go straight to Africa because we are pressed with time now. Now on the African continent, we're looking at South Africa, and the fact that the what do you call it, the sanctions that have been placed against them because of this Omicron virus that they found out first. They were the ones. I was speaking to my brother last Sunday, and I said, you are scientists, they are very good. He said, yeah, we were the ones who actually, our scientists discovered that there was another variant. Then I said, well, you see, it came back to come and bite you. And he said, yeah. So they are looking at it that way. But looking at other African countries, because of the rate of our what do you call it, our vaccine rollout, we've not done enough. Do you think that it's good enough for other countries to ban African countries to also now ban South African countries? Do you think that we should do that?
I will put it this way. I think once the United Kingdom took a decision, the British government made a decision, it meant that all other people were also making a decision. And decisions are made purely based on what threats in various countries think is coming to them. But like South Africa president put it last night, he basically is saying that why is the rest of the world doing this? Okay, and he probably has a case. I said, look, there could be other strains going around the globe, but scientists in those various countries are not up to the level of South Africa. And putting it the other way too, this variant, the Omicron variant, was first found in Botswana. It wasn't even in South Africa. It was brought from Botswana to South Africa as a country. That South Africa has scientists and people who could sequential, let me put it that way, the strain and the type of strain, and be able to determine that this is quite different from the ones we have.
Mm-hmm.
Let's face it, some European countries probably are not even doing that.
Yeah.
Some European countries in Eastern Europe, they could even be in Western Europe, they don't have the time to be doing that because they are only focused on you test positive, that is it. But I think South Africa is mainly looking, they went further looking at, okay, you tested positive. Is this particular strain different from what we know? So that's what Britain also will do. America also do that. Germany, France, they all do that kind of thing. But there's still some European countries that are not doing it. So their point is that why are you punishing us for telling the rest of the world, hey guys,
this is what is happening.
And ladies, there is a new variant on the block. Yeah, so I mean, like I'm saying, everybody perceives the danger they might be in and the vulnerability of their population. So they make a decision mainly based on the vulnerability of their population. But let's face it, a lot of the people who place bans on Southern African countries are what we call knee-jerk reaction.
Yeah, I agree with you there.
It's just knee-jerk because they decide they want to do it because other countries have done it.
Yeah. Okay. Listen, let's start Radio UK. We're gonna only 21 minutes to go, so let's quickly hop on to some of the other stories. Straight, let's go to Chad. We're talking touch one story from Chad, and then we'll go to Ghana. In Chad, the military-led government issued an amnesty to almost 300 rebels and political dissidents. My apologies. The amnesty meets a key demand of opposition groups invited to join a roundtable with President Mahamat Idris Deby Itno, who took power after his father was killed fighting insurgents last April. This reassures the rebels, the political military groups, because without this amnesty, they will feel insecure. So it is an act that can reassure these political militaries and also help the state in its objective. Now, I'm just looking at Idris Deby, who was on the battlefront fighting these rebels and ended up losing his life, and the son taking over. Now, the son has got a further step saying that, guys, come, let's talk, and then releasing those who have been apprehended. Now, do you think that so that is shifting? The governance or when it comes to security of Chad to a different level where it is going to be better for them?
Well, I think everybody would like a peaceful country. Everybody would like Chad to do better, if I put it that way. He going out to say, look guys, let us all work together. I'm not going to persecute you. Well, others might see it as, oh, you know what, he's tricking us into coming into sharing power with him, and then he arrests us and put us behind bars, which I don't rule out. Because I don't trust any of those people, honestly. And I think the rebels themselves do not trust him anyway, so they're not going to. Although he's made that offer, it's a nice offer to make, but are they guaranteed? Is that guaranteed in the constitution that will not harm them? Is he going to go back later, even if he puts it in a decree written out and signed? Is he not going to go back on it when he feels that, oh no, now I have these people, I can do what I want? That's the difficult part of those countries in Africa who are at war against each other. Nobody can trust anybody. Even if they tell you we are offering you our mothers and fathers as ransom, they will go back and take off the mothers and fathers' heads. So I'm citing an example with a country like Equatorial Guinea, where the current ruler even decided to imprison his own uncle, and as a result, the uncle was either executed or disappeared from the face of the earth. So it's quite difficult to trust people who hold guns. Whether they are going to stand by their word or they're going to change their minds.
Okay. Well, let's hope that this national reconciliation will help, and so that Chad will be a prosperous nation, so that the people can live their lives in peace, not pieces. Well, listen to Starr Radio UK. Now let's move on straight to Ghana and look at some of the stories making the rounds there. Now, over the last Friday, we had some skirmishes in the Ghanaian parliament, where it ended up that they threw the budget, virtually they rejected the budget because the minority decided to walk out, and they came back, and then majority decided to walk out, and now we don't know what is happening there. But Amidu, the former special prosecutor, has come out to say that in Akufo-Addo's Kabuki, we are the people who voted him into power. The people who voted him into power are rebels who are undiscerning of truth and reality, according to former special prosecutor Martin Amidu. According to him, government has Jobel's mentality of being capable of winning over the electorate by deception and not the truth. He was speaking in relation to the majority side walkout in parliament before the vote on the 2022 budget statement on November 26. He explained that the reason preferred by the majority to explain their walkout was frivolous and entirely unfounded. Martin Amidu, however, opined that majority's walkout was a ruse to hide the fact that they did not have the numbers to push the approval of their budget, and lo and behold, they didn't have the numbers to do so. Now, do you see this as maybe a move by the opposition to maybe wield power or flex their muscle to make sure that the right things are done?
Well, Ghana's parliament is quite unpredictable. I mean, I would have been expecting the minority to walk out.
That is what's supposed to be.
The majority to walk out. I'm just being honest. It took me by surprise that the majority raised issues and reasons why they walk out. One of the reasons they raised was an NDC scribe in a person of a being in the public gallery. That is why it is called public gallery. In the public gallery, anyone at all, any member of the public can be there. Once they seek approval to be there, they can be there. In the early days of even parliament, before this heightened security and covert regime, people just walk into the public gallery to listen to the proceedings of parliament. There's nothing wrong with that. So that was one of the reasons that were cited, and I find it a bit not acceptable, because the word public define it as public. If it's a committee state, then you cannot be there. A member of the public cannot be in a committee. So some of them, are they actually saying, because they were saying that they took a decision that because of COVID, they are actually not going to allow people into the chamber. But here's the case: Asiedu Johnson has been going to parliament for some time now. So we wasn't going there as just an ordinary member of the public who had walked from the street and going in. So if that is being cited as one of the reasons they walk out, I think we need to be more serious with our politics. And some other reasons that have been cited makes it difficult for me to really understand the basis for they walking out. So if the Minister for Finance goes to Parliament, he's been sanctioned to come into Parliament, he is not an MP.
He's not. Right? He's not an MP.
He's also a member of the public, although he's a government official. He's a minister of state, but he's not a member of parliament. So I find it quite very, very difficult to understand how all these mechanisms work, where people are referring to the max calculation of the parliament ratio, the speaker shouldn't have called and all that. And the speaker said, well, there were 137 and opposition MPs, and there was one person sitting on the majority area, and that makes it 138. So the quorum has been formed to proceed. If any group of people should walk out, it should be
have been the minority.
Minority.
Yeah.
Not the majority.
Now, were they scared? Because were they scared that maybe I said you are sitting there, being the chief scribe of the opposition party, will be watching, so it will make sure that all his party folks, the reps, the MPs there, will vote according to what they are saying. That look, this budget, this e-levy, this Japan, and all those bills that have been smuggled in were something that they don't want, and that's why they thought if he goes out, then they might have a way of maybe somehow getting them to vote against or for on behalf of the government as well, or with the government.
No, I don't think so. I think they've already made a decision. They already kicked against it, and like we do here, Parliament the opposition can wake up its MPs to all vote in a certain way, and the same thing happens over there. They can be instructed to vote
in a particular way,
the budget down in a particular way. So it wouldn't have been an issue, but they the majority walking out, I can still get the main reason they have to walk out, apart from citing examples that I see as not really an issue to walk out of parliament. Look, my other hunch is probably some of the majority members of parliament, they have had pressure coming down from their constituents that they did not like the e-levy. And there had already been some majority MPs in their constituencies. There have been constituency people who have already voiced out against the e-levy. So there could be a possibility in that just being there, I'm just playing the devil, just doing Kitia being there is encouraging some members of the MPP to which is unlikely. I'm just playing prank with that, which is unlikely. But I think it's a very uncomfortable levy where you could see some MPs out of job in the next election. You could easily see some MPs out of job in the next, especially areas where people depend a lot on this mobile money transfer. There are quite a sizable number of people who are not happy. I know there are some people seriously making arguments that look, we pay taxes already in the UK. They were using UK and US and other developed countries as an example. We already pay taxes. But when we still go into restaurants, we still pay either service tax or VAT. When we go and buy shirts and whatever, we still pay taxes on them again. Irrespective of that, I think this is a transactional tax. It is not really like a VAT tax or a sales tax or any other tax that people have come to accept. It's not like a fuel tax that people are happy with. But this looks to be like a transactional tax. And people are not happy paying taxes on transactions. If somebody makes, let's take 100 cedis in Ghana isn't a great deal of money.
Yeah.
So if you make a transactional Momo of 100 Ghana cedis and you have to pay for it,
176 or 170.
People think the bar should be somewhere slightly up, not on £100. They're thinking like 1,000
Ghana.
Not 100 cities. They are thinking about something around the region of 500 because people are even sending 100 cities to their children in school.
And then do they have to pay for that?
And they have to pay for extra transactional tax on the 100 cities. So I think that is what people are worried about.
Okay.
Kojo, it's an palatable kind of thing.
Quickly, I think we have got Felix on. We've got a short time to run up as well. So let's go straight to Felix and Felix, good afternoon.
Good afternoon. How are you?
Doing very, very well. And you?
I think I'm okay.
Great. Yes, your take, please.
My take. I don't know what's the problem with the majority or what the governing party, not the majority, the governing party. Their group in parliament. What's their problem?
They think that they don't want they don't want. They don't want the bill to be the budget to be passed, and the fact that the minority are voting against it, the best way for them to avoid maybe their disgrace to just walk out. But again, now that the Speaker of Parliament has travelled as well, I don't know what is going to happen.
Well, the Speaker of Parliament never had a vote anyway.
Yeah, so
this
now
can only be passed by a vote.
Yeah. But now that one of the deputies, I think either the first deputy or the second deputy, I think the first deputy or the second deputy is supposed to take the helm. Now, if it happens, that means the majority, the ruling government will fall short. One. So automatically they are going to lose there.
To be honest, I'm not surprised about all of this. You know, what have they been doing? This is a consumption-based government. They're not investing in any production in the country.
For that.
This is the problem. It's just like what most of us do when we come abroad. We send money home for people just to go and buy trophy and the nicest clothes, and then they just keep coming back to us. Give us some more. Give us some more. Give us some more. It is the same thing. They haven't, after borrowing well over 200 billion Ghana cedis or whatever the equivalent of that is in dollars today. You would have thought that there must be something that is generating money big time. They don't have anything. This money, these new levels of taxation that they are looking for, what are they going to spend the money on? Is it to pay off the debts that they've accrued, or is it just to finance more consumption?
They said people are calling for the fact that government should fix the country. Now that's the money that they're going to use to fix the country. So they've
not fixed the country in the last 5 years. They've not even fixed potholes in the last 5 years. So what are they going to what are they going to fix this time round? I mean, what is it that they need the money for? Or is it because we borrowed so much and some of these bonds that we've taken are coming to maturity and we have to go back and pay these bonds? There has to be a reason for borrowing. I mean, you and I, our experience abroad tells us that, look, if you get yourself into debt, you get yourself in a very bad situation.
Yeah.
I mean, there are many people who, in some cases, they've allowed debt to have overtaken them, and in some cases, they've ended up becoming homeless.
Yeah.
Yes, even in a country like this. So I don't really know why can't they go and argue the reason why they need this sort of money?
Well, maybe someone will say that's why the finance minister wanted to come there to come and address the house. But
I watched the issues in Parliament. The finance minister didn't come to address it. He says they're going to meet the leadership of the house, extended leadership of the house, expanded leadership of the house. He's not presenting any alternative to what he had already presented. What I see is just a few promises here and there, getting one or two people perhaps lined up their pockets.
Yeah.
And see if you can get the votes through. But frankly speaking, this is the worst finance minister I've ever seen in our country.
He's got a bank, man. He's got a bank. He owns a bank.
Well, look. Mr. Otabel was the chairman of the board of the bank.
Yeah.
Right, he himself admitted that he didn't know anything about banking. And we know what became of that bank.
Yeah.
We will know what will become of this finance minister's bank when they leave power. Right?
Yeah.
I mean, it's unfortunate, but look, our country is in a big mess. I mean, if you have people on the bond markets not wanting to give you any more money, you are in a deep hole. You are really in a deep hole. For a country that is producing gold, the leading gold producer on the African continent, and it's fair to say that country is producing well over 100,000 barrels of oil a day.
Yeah.
And it's producing premium grade oil, because that's what our oil is. It's premium grade. It's not one of these cheap oil from Saudi or Nigeria. Yeah. So if you have a country like that, and you fairly have what looks like a stable political system over the last 25, 30 years, and people are not interested in your debt or your bond that you're going to float on the international bond market, you are in a really bad place. And I'm not surprised that they've gone back trying to tax everything, including what Kojo says, a transactional tax.
Yeah.
I doubt that it's actually, you may describe it as a transactional tax, but just the government stealing money of individuals, because the government is not offering anything in return. I mean, I can understand why the banks and the money transfer companies are taking maybe $2.99 for every £100 you send, because they are doing the transfer for you. They are literally taking your money from one part of the world to another part.
Yeah.
But what is the government doing in this case?
Nothing.
Just
sitting and chilling and taking the money off you.
It's not even the government that will say, okay, I am providing the infrastructure to facilitate this sort of. If the government says, okay, well, we are going to provide maybe a 5G infrastructure.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, go on. Kojo was speaking.
Kojo was saying something, so I don't know whether he was talking to me or not.
No, go on. Yeah, Kojo.
Yeah. If the government have moved in with the idea that, look, we want to make 5G technology available to every part of the country, and because of that, we will need this sort of taxation in order to fund 5G technology every part of the country. In the event that we have another pandemic in the next maybe 5-10 years, every child in the country, every employee in the country, if you have a place where you can stay and not go to your workplace, but still will be able to be productive and work from home or work from the nearest possible shall we say hub, and still be productive, that makes sense. I don't know why they can't even make this argument.
You have to be an advisor to
the finance minister can literally go to parliament this afternoon and say that, look, we are going to use this money to fund 5G infrastructure.
It's too late. We heard it already. Now, if he says anything of that sort, we know that he stole it from you.
Yeah, but he could have done. He could have done that. He could have done that 2 weeks ago or so when he presented the budget. But it tells you the level of death or death, that is the shortness of thought, lack. The
short-sightedness,
short-sightedness, the inability to think critically before they come out with a policy. Even if you want to be deceptive to the people, because he could have just made this argument that, look, we are moving the country from 3G, 4G to 5G. And therefore we will need this sort of revenue from mobile money, or they call it Momo, in order to fund the technology around the country, because we anticipate that there will be another pandemic very soon, and we don't want people to maybe lose their jobs or businesses to completely fold and that sort of thing. It's a simple, and that will be an argument for which you will run this sort of taxation maybe for another 10 years.
Wow.
Anyway, good afternoon.
Yeah, thank you. Yes.
Yeah, go on.
Yeah, Kojo.
You could have even said, you're going to use it to fund computers in school, technologies in schools, improve the school IT infrastructure. There are so many things you could have said that money will be targeted at, you know, being used, and that will sell more to people.
Yeah.
But as of now, I think we all agree that there hadn't been any real communication coming from the government communicators' offices to say, or from the Ministry of Finance to say what exactly this money being raised, what is going to be used for.
I get you there. Well, my question is, yes, Felix, go on.
But like I was just explaining to you, it shows the level of thinking that goes on in the finance ministry. Whoever is in charge of the finance ministry now, I guess it must be Ken Oforiatta.
Yeah.
It shows you that either maybe they are too arrogant and they don't think they have to think through their things before they present them to the Ghanaian people.
Yeah.
Or maybe they just don't have it.
Okay. Yeah. It could be any of that. Yeah.
You know, because you would like to think that if you are bringing a policy of this nature or a tax policy of this nature, there has to be a little bit of thinking. How do we sell this? How do we sell? But it's just like, okay, well, maybe we can bribe one or two members of the opposition and then we get our policies through. You know, we don't even have to. I mean, my understanding is that they are now trying to talk to stakeholders.
Yeah.
After you've already presented your budget.
Yeah.
I mean, it's crazy, isn't it? Have a good
Putting
day.
the cart before the horse. Thank you very much, Felix. Thank you very much. Have a lovely day as well. Kojo?
Sure.
Yes, okay. The final words, then we can run up.
Well, I think we just finished off with stories from this end of the world, really, where we live. We can just finish off with that. We can just encourage people to be wise.
Yeah.
We want to encourage people really to take seriously their own personal health, especially running down to this Christmas period. People tend to be a bit, jolly. Let's put it that way.
Yeah.
But at the same time, I think we all have to be a bit wise in how we deal with issues. We have to be a bit wise in our interaction out there, what we do out there, especially when it comes to all these massive sales period. We just need to be wise, and live our lives the way we think it will be of benefit to us and other people.
Yeah.
Not just being selfish. Put it that way.
Okay, Kojo. Let me say thank you very much for your wonderful input once again.
Yeah, thank you.
All right, we'll catch up later. Well, listeners, this is where we bring the program to a close for this day, the 30th day of November, the last day of November 2021. Okay, it's now gone 5 minutes past the top of the hour. Remember, in the next 25 minutes, I'm going to bring you, this program is going to come your way, how to build your own world on BB Means Business by BB Clement. So, make sure you make a date with her this afternoon. So, don't you go away. It is Starr Radio UK, your favorite African and Caribbean radio station in London. We're going to take a quick break and end that program. And the next 20 minutes, the next program will be up live. But enjoy this song from Ghana. And when it ends and you don't hear from me, it'll be me, Archie, saying have a top of the day. I'll see you all tomorrow. Bye-bye for now.